employees, we have colleagues in our organizations, we have for example, as an educator, we have parents, we have different stakeholders. How do we see them? How do we hear the unspoken words behind their actions? And how do we feel those uncharged depths and of their emotion? This is what I call the essence of an empathetic leader, one who can build bridges rather than walls, and who heals wounds rather than inflicting them, and who ignites change rather than extinguishing hope. So empathy is the cornerstone of effective leadership, especially in today's world we are living in. And as leaders, our ability to understand, to share, to resonate with the feelings of others, it is not just a soft skill that we need, but it is also a powerful tool that can drive positive change and build enduring relationships in our countries, in our continent. I heard some of the speakers talking about Africa, especially Africa. So it is in this realm of diplomacy that relationship building and empathetic leadership takes even greater significance. And diplomatic personalities, I want to tell you that they are not born, they are also cultivated through a deeper understanding of each other's perspectives, each other's needs and aspirations. So we should embody empathy in our leadership approaches, and we can also resolve the conflicts that we have in our continents, in our countries, and forge connections that are based on trust. I heard other speakers speaking about trust and mutual respect. So what does empathetic leadership look like in practice? As empathetic leaders, I know someone talked about active listening. We've talked about active listening. We seek to understand. You have to understand before they seek to understand, before seeking themselves to be understood. I hope it's clear. So by listening, we should listen with an open mind and an open heart as well. Someone talked about love. We should listen with an open heart. And when we listen with an open heart, that is when we can uncover hidden insights. We can build rapports and demonstrate genuine care for others. I know that there are some people who are eager to talk before they even listen to what the other speaker is talking about. And as empathetic leaders, we also need to show what we call vulnerability, because empathetic leaders are not afraid to be authentic. This is what our leaders in Africa should know. They should not be afraid to be authentic. They should not be afraid to be transparent about their own challenges. This is why each and every time when they board airplanes to go overseas, we ask ourselves, but we do not have food on our tables. So they should be transparent about whatever they should do. They should also, by embracing that vulnerability, we create what we call a safe space for others to do the same, for all the citizens of a country to do the same. And then that's when we are when we are fostering a culture of openness and trust. And in our homes, we should also foster that culture of openness, especially with our kids, because they are the leaders of tomorrow. In our schools, because they are the leaders of tomorrow. And as empathetic leaders as well, we need to practice what we call perspective taking. They should put themselves in others' shoes. This is what as leaders, ourselves and our leaders should do, to put themselves in our shoes. We are having a lot of problems that need solutions, creative solutions, and we should see the world through their eyes and feel the world also through their hearts. This is what we call love. So by stepping outside of our own perspectives, then we can then better appreciate the diversity of experiences and value those relationships that we have. And lastly, I would like to say empathetic leaders, they lead with compassion, compassionate leadership. They show kindness, empathy, and understanding. I know that in our countries, Africa, Zimbabwe is not spared. I know that sometimes we have got so many problems, and then we hear that there's a summit that is happening in our country, and people start dishing out food, start doing all sorts of things that they should have done even before those people come into our countries. So empathetic leaders should show kindness. They should show empathy and understanding in their interactions with us as citizens of a country, and even in the face of adversity. So by extending compassion to all of us, then that is when we create a culture of inclusivity and belonging. And this empowers individuals to thrive and succeed. I would like to say, as we look ahead, I think I'm going to challenge each and one of us to become an architect of empathy, and we engage each other in an empathetic way, interact each day, whether with a friend, whether with a stranger, or even with someone. We meet here each and every time we meet, and we don't talk further. So we should observe the transformation in our relationships, in our leadership, and in the impact we live in this world. In closing, I would like to remember the words of one John Quincy Adams, who says, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. And you are the leaders of a new dawn, especially our youth. With each empathetic steps that we take, we have the power to transform not just our mindset, but the very ethos of leadership. Thank you for your attention, and may we all lead with empathy in everything we do. Over to you, our moderator.
Thank you so much, Professor Patricia Gonde from Zimbabwe. We really appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing with us a powerful message this afternoon. No, this morning. We're still in the morning. So we want to appreciate you. Thank you so much. I've asked permission already from my moderators to quickly honor and also invite His Royal Majesty Dr. King Leicester Monarch number 3 from South Africa to share his wealth of wisdom and knowledge to us this afternoon. So, Dr. King Leicester, King of South Africa, Bangkok, please share with us this morning, sir. You are welcome.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, and good also to our Queen. Good evening or good morning. So we are very happy to make this meeting. It's very important to the world. So we are really appreciate to organize the world, my Queen. So I hear you all, the professors, the doctors, what they are saying. So those are good ideas. We can carry on with that. So I think maybe I can share about the community as well here in South Africa. So we need to be together to help the community about the poverty the community, they are not well. Even the children at school here, we got a problem. We have other children, they are not got parents. Then there got some people that are not care about them to go to the school. And also, I think maybe if we can also provide with the things to make a job for the people. If you can get the skill to skill the people about agriculture, so we can plant and harvest, and then maybe we can send it outside the country after we plant it and harvest. So the community can have a job. So we have a land here in South Africa. So we have a huge land. They are not occupied. So we can make the industry as well with the investors. If you can get some investors to come and help. Actually, the whole Africa, so we need help. I don't know from outside the country in Europe how's the things there, but here in Africa we need the help to establish the agriculture and the industry. So if you can help to that, that's my idea. I can share with the professors and everyone. No, thank you very much, my queen, to put me in here. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much, sir. His Royal Majesty, Dr. King, Leicester Monarch the Third of Bangkok Kingdom,
Baholoko.
Bahola Kingdom, nation of South Africa. It's so nice to see you again, sir. We are welcome.
Okay.
And we appreciate you.
Okay,
And the message that you've put across, yes, we will look into it. And definitely, we will be, especially for the sake of our youth and our children in Africa, we need more support so that we can guide them and nurture them and sponsor them, and also create more facilities for them to live a healthy environment. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. God bless you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Okay,
My
so
queen.
I'm going to hand over to Dr. Edina for the next person.
Okay, thank you so much for the key, for your great message. So now let me call our next speaker, Ambassador Temitope Odetonde. Please welcome, ma'am. The stage is yours. And apologies if I mispronounce your name.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, don't worry. That's fine. Big thank you to Professor Dr. Queen Elizabeth Lucas for inviting me to come and speak. I am really grateful. It's an honor to be among everyone, and I've listened to everyone speak, and it's been really insightful for me, and learning, which is beautiful, because as a leader we have to continue to learn. We're talking about transformation. Obviously this is a transformational leadership conference, and we're talking about mindset for transformation in terms of relationship. And when I was thinking about it, one thing that comes to mind is transformation is about change, and change can only happen at the speed of trust. So if people don't trust us, they're not going to change because they're not going to listen to us. And that trust comes when we have relationship with people. When people trust us, it's easy for them to relate with us. It's easy for them to have a relationship with us. And that relationship can be, it's the same way that we have a relationship with the bank. So we trust our bank that when we put our money there, our money is safe. And that might be a formal relationship, but we have relationship with our friends. So we know, at least the key friends, that we know that when we leave them with something, they will have our back. So when we talk about trust gives rise to, obviously, trust will promote positivity. And I've heard different speakers talk about empathy today. Trust will promote positivity. When we trust, when people trust us, and when we trust people, we speak to them in a different way because our words are kind, our words are salts, and they're not piercing to them. Trust reduce conflicts. When you have trust with somebody, you have relationship with them, it's very unlikely you have conflict. And even if you have conflict, it's easier to resolve that conflict because you trust them. It increases closeness with people, and we can create opportunity and dialogue, because when you have a relationship with someone and you trust them, it's easier to have a dialogue even when things are not working. There are, when we talk about trust, we've talked about, one of the speakers talk about open-mindedness. When you trust somebody, you're open, you're vulnerable. When you trust somebody, it obviously leads to relationship, but that relationship leads to vulnerability, and people are vulnerable with us. And trust obviously allow people to be honest with us and to be open with us, and also for us to reciprocate. Trust also is about transparency. And transparency is important in leadership because people want to know that you actually you're not doing something different for what you told them that you're going to do. And trust brings respect. Trust brings respect. When people trust you and they will respect you, it's the same way when you trust somebody, you respect them. And that is relationship, because that trust comes from the place of relationship, and that gives you respect. So in leadership, I always look at it that if people don't respect you, actually they don't trust you, and you're not really leading them. You're just, they're not following you. And that's important. And I always look at it that, that trust can be expressed in different shape or form. But as a leader, I want my staff to trust me. I'm in a place of leadership in which the job we do is quite, because I'm in the healthcare, I'm a pharmacist, the job we do is quite intense. So I need people to trust me even when they don't understand where I'm taking them. However, I've cast a vision before them, but they need to trust me. So I need to build that relationship so that they trust me, even though they cannot see the big picture, they can trust me. And that's how we can take people in a transformation, because when we're talking about transformation, we're taking people where they haven't been before, and they have to trust us because we have this vision. They don't have the vision. And so they have to trust us, and that trust comes from a place of trust. It comes from a place of relationship, and having that strong relationship that they know that, okay, I don't understand the full picture of what you just painted before me, but I trust you that, you're taking us somewhere, and I trust your vision that you're going to follow through with what you've just said. And that trust helps us to also know how to speak to them, because I look at it that half of the conflict is about words. We're talking about communication. The way we say something to people will help them to know whether they can trust us or not, and whether they can have a relationship with us. And the way, when somebody depending on who they are, sometimes we talk down at people because we think they're nothing, and then suddenly we find out there's something, and the way people talk suddenly change because now they've now found that information. But how about actually coming from a place of relationship and actually be kind before you even know the person behind? Because one of the things I find out, especially as managing staff, is you don't know the background of people. So it is my responsibility to have that relationship, because I might think they're who they are because they are below me, but actually they have something that I need, which is why they're in my team. And I need them to be able to bring out that creativity out of them. And in closing, I just want to say, as a leader, people will follow us wholeheartedly if they trust us. If people trust us, they will follow us. If we find that, I always examine myself at the end of the year, that if I'm having challenge with a staff, I know staff can be difficult, but if I'm having a challenge with a staff, the first thing is, am I the problem? Is there something I'm doing that is triggering them, that is not letting them to follow me? Am I casting the information properly? And if I've done all that, then I want to ask them, what's your feedback? Why are you behaving like this? Because sometimes I don't see everything. And I'm hoping that people will relate to that you can't see everything. And sometimes we don't know what we're doing unless we actually build our relationship, so that people are open, we are open, and we have that approachable sense where people can come to us and say, actually, this is what is going on. And I think that's important. And I want to encourage us that we need to model a good relationship. And when I talk about trust, when people trust us, it is important not to abuse that trust. And I think that is key, because sometimes people have a relationship with us as leaders and they trust us, and we abuse the trust, and that is it. We create a wedge and we create a bridge, and people cannot relate to us. And as a result of that, the person might be the key to the next stage that we need to go, but they can't release that creativity out of them, simply because we've abused that trust that they have for us. And so it's important that finally, I wanted to say that obviously we should not abuse the trust that people have in us, and we need to let our light shine. Our light shine in the way we speak to people. There's a Bible verse that says soft tongue turns away wrath. So when we speak to people in a certain way, in a relatable way, it turns away whatever they have in mind. So let's even assume that people come to work with me, maybe they've had something, the way I relate to them actually say, what they said is not true. And that changed the relationship, that changed the dynamic, and that actually allows them to bring out that gift that is inside them that I need for my team to function, that I need for my organization to function. And I think that is key in everything that we do, that we are able to express ourselves and not hold back. And, sometimes I always look at it, and that's what's worked for me, especially when it comes to my leadership role, that people need to be able to see me be able to do what I'm asking them to do. Because when they see me that I'm actually not fake, I'm not actually sitting on my high horse, I'm actually able to show them that I love them, I appreciate them, and I'm not taking them for granted, and I trust them, and I'm open to listen to them for what they want to say. They will trust me. And when I say let's go that way, they will know that actually I have their best interest at heart. Thank you so much for having me. I am very grateful.
Thank you, Ms. Odelunde. That was awesome. Okay, before I go off for my prayer break, I'd like to have this great honor of inviting Dr. Siva, who has been very patiently waiting for his turn to speak. Dr. Siva Kumar, sir, you're muted. Can you unmute? Dr. TPS? It's all yours, sir. Your platform is yours. Please share with us your thoughts.
Namaskaram. Thank you. So kind of you. My Sister Queen Elizabeth, namaste from India. A lot of great speakers from all across the globe, 360-degree around the world, who went more deep points to think. Probably we can have conferences on each of these topics. Our travel with the YYCI, my sister Queen Elizabeth, together started probably 2.5 years back. And during the COVID, we have been discussing on a lot of connections and relationship in different perspective. And I was thinking, what will be the next topic, because we covered communication. So many topics which have been discussed so far must have been covered in many. But now the mindset for diplomatic personality and relationships. Once upon a time, only king, rulers, ministers, country representatives deal in diplomacy. Diplomatic, the word came from the diplomacy. The diplomacy is that which deals with individuals, but it affects a community, because I represent a community. That is why the king, the diplomatic leaders, maybe when I speak, I am not talking as an individual, but I am talking representing a country. Therefore, the diplomatic relationships are represented by leaders. When many of us keep calling that I am the leader, we should understand, are we really representing my country is the question. Why I am discussing this? Because I am looking at not the topic by itself. I am looking at the scope and objective of the discussion, which is brought into platform now by Professor Dr. Queen Elizabeth today. Each of us have a role to make an impression on others from which country, which culture, which region I belongs to. And thus the subject of great importance, because today each one of us have a platform wherein we can deal with the people of different nations. Once upon a time, that was only possible for the top leaders in the country. But today anyone can contact anyone. We are in a world of the social media. When I post, when I react, when I send a friend request on my FB, I look at which country you are from and what is your ethnic. How much I respect you depends on how earlier people behaved with me. Therefore, each individual who is in social media have a responsibility to represent my culture, my ethnicity, my country, and therefore each one of us are leaders. And this is very important, because we talked about 20th century, 21st century. No, centuries are 100 years. There were a lot of time for people to think and understand and learn. Very effective and effective, E effective and A effective relationships in this fast moving world of third decade of 21st century. Third decade of 21st century is very important. That is why I wanted to emphasize the objective and scope of this discussion, and in which probably the strategic relationships. I worked with the Prime Minister's office in India. I know how important it is to have the diplomatic relationships, understanding diplomatic personality by themselves from the mindset, the figures, the situations, the skills in which they deal. Many things have been talked about: empathy, emotional intelligence, open-mindedness, adaptability, everything. But the role of mindset, the influential effectiveness that each one of us have, the cultural awareness which we have, on which we are on this platform. How am I able to represent my ethnicity, my religion, my country? That is more important, my culture, because each one of us represent each one of the culture which we have. So effective communication, conflict resolution, building trust, the rapport, building the skill, the practical tips, all that have been dealt as case studies. I am only talking about the objective and scope of this conference, and salute you for this great thought behind this. And each one of us represent our own country. Therefore, we have a great responsibility in this fast-moving third decade of 21st century. When I talk to somebody else, I must be very careful that I am in a social media and people look at me and categorize me as an Indian. And that is how people look at Indian as it is. So I represent my country. Each one of us keep this responsibility in each one of us. And that is why we are becoming diplomatic personnels. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity. I must salute all of you from the 360-degree world around where we are getting connected. It's almost 2.5 years of relationship on which we talked about this topic many times. I'm seeing many of you who are all part of this for a long time. Namaskaram, namaste, salutations to you from
Thank
the
you.
country India. Thank you.
Awesome,
Thank you.
Dr. Sati. Dr. Sati
Thank you
Kumar.
so much, Professor TPS, my wonderful mentor for 3 years from India. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, appreciate your sharing, and I appreciate your leadership, your mentorship. Thank you so much, sir, for what you've shared with us this afternoon. And I'm still looking forward to your for your full details, messages during our master class anytime from now, from maybe next week or this week. I don't know. Okay.
Sure.
So
sure.
thank you. We really appreciate you. I
Thank
think
you.
we just miss out our king that I want to announce. Maybe it's because of the connectivity. I'm trying to call him back. But while we are waiting for King Chooks from Ghana, I would like to quickly call on Professor Nada to speak to us. Also, before then, may I acknowledge again Ambassador Temitope Odetunde. Thank you so much. Ambassador Temitope is also the founder of Ambassador in the Marketplace. And she has invited me one or two to interview me of how am I doing with Yes You Can International. So I do not take anything for granted. I also want to appreciate all our great leaders that are still on the platform. Pastor Awodiran, thank you for joining us. Ambassador Elena, thank you for joining us. Oh yes, Ambassador Dr. Ononuga is just joining us shortly. Yes, Mr. Robbins Casting, thank you for joining us. And Dr. Turomade, please, we're still going to call you all. And Dr. Kalem Timileyin, we're still going to call you all to share with us. Ambassador Anogu, thank you so much. You are all very dear to our heart. So while we are still waiting, may I quickly call on Professor Kafita to quickly, because she needs to go for a meeting and she's been with us since morning. So please share with us before Professor Nada. We follow after Professor Kavita. Okay, and then I will hand over to our moderator. Please speak, ma'am. Professor Dr. Kavita from India.
Warm greetings, namaste from India. It's always been a pleasure to be a part of the conferences held by Professor Elizabeth Lucas, and probably I don't have a count, and probably this is my maybe in double digits one of the conferences I would definitely say, and it's always my pleasure. And before I really talk about the diplomacy, the mindset of a diplomatic person in maintaining relationships, probably I would like to really appreciate all my speakers, my co-speakers, who've given profound insights on how to really hold a relationship. Being a psychologist, probably I like to put forth the psychological perspectives of a human need when I talk about the diplomacy. I think the very essence of being a human is to maintain relationships in the society, because that gives us a sense of belonging, a sense of purpose, and we all know that we are here for a specific reason. So when we talk about the difference between a successful and a failure relationship, I would rather, as per my observation as a psychologist with all my clients, I have keenly noticed that the difference is doing or maintaining a relationship absolutely right and maintaining a relationship almost right. When I say absolutely right, that is where the diplomacy comes into picture. And that is where the relationships become so successful. When I have to talk about a failure relationship, even there is definitely an effort that is happening, but it is just done it's happening and the relationships are almost right. So let us talk about what is this diplomacy and what exactly does it mean? Diplomacy is a skill. It's a kind of a skill that a human being adopts to maintain a relationship because when we have to navigate a complex situation in a life, it could be the workspace, or it could be with the friendship, or it could be with the family, or it could be with the society. No matter what the relationship is, when we have to navigate a complex situation, the diplomacy is a skill that can really take us along. It can take us through. It can take us through. So it is more a personality trait. It is a personality trait that can be developed. Nobody is a born diplomat. It is a skill that we develop as we move along the course of life. So how does we actually look into diplomacy? So what are the various attributes that constitute this diplomacy? So I think probably I would like to talk about it. So the first one, as I heard one of the speakers talking about, is empathy. I think Professor Patricia was talking about empathy, which plays a core idea into the relationship. And second is the patience. And third one is the better communication skills. And the fourth one is in the communication, we are talking about listening, because most of us, we listen to respond or react. We don't listen to understand. The difference between a diplomatic relationship or a diplomatic person to a non-diplomatic person or an assertive person, the difference is the diplomatic person listens to understand. A non-diplomatic person listens to respond or react. And we lose out our communication because of that. And the fourth most important trait that I would attribute to a diplomatic person is the emotional intelligence, because of late we speak so much about the normal intelligence that we fail to forget the fact that the very foundation of a human existence is the emotional intelligence. And the fifth one that we are talking about is the cultural sensitivity, because I do have a certain culture, you do have a certain culture. And if I'm not empathetic on understanding your culture or respecting your culture, or respecting the relationship or what I want to do in this relationship, then I cannot really move forward, which is also a part of the diplomacy. Next, I'm talking about whatever I'm doing, it has to be a win-win situation for both the parties or both the sides. Most of us, we was I not audible till now? I'm sorry.
Yes, please continue. Please continue. It's
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So when in a relationship, as I just reiterate once again, when I say that I'm a diplomatic person or somebody is a diplomatic person, we have certain attributes that we are talking of. The first one is the empathy. The second one is the communication skills. The third one is the active listening skills, where we want to listen to understand the person. We are not listening to respond or react to the other person. The fourth thing is trying to see a situation or see a solution in a perspective where it is not in black and white. Because most of us, we fail in our relationships because we have hardwired ourselves to live with an egoistic mind and to see that what we do is always right. We are so particular about it, because our sense of worth and our self-esteem does not permit us to see things in a much wider horizon, which can have multiple solutions than the existing one solution which our egoistic mind tends to look at. look at. So we are talking about a thing wherein we see things more in shades of grays and other colors rather than looking a particular problem in black and white. That is also one of the most important skill of being a diplomat. And the next one we are talking about is the emotional intelligence. When I say emotional intelligence, you need to know what you are. You need to be self-aware. And second, you need to be empathetic. You try to understand being in the shoes of the other person, and you know, like, you must understand the relationships which you are around is equally important as much as you are to yourself, and the fourth is the patience you have in handling a situation. And the fifth one, even if the other person is pretty aggressive in its own sense, you need to have the tact of trying to add in a humor and trying to make it more subtle. Try to bring in, because the long-term goal of any diplomatic person is to maintain relationships. As we all know, without relationships, things really don't happen because you become all alone at some point of time. So we might not completely change the situation or the person's behavior, but these little skills that are a part of us can definitely bring back the lost relationships, can bring back they can patch up the relationships, and also can bridge the gaps, like wherever we are losing. Because I often see nowadays most of the issues with the relationships, especially the couples, or it could be the business companies, it's got more to do with ego. We are so much used to living with the ego. So rather than living with the ego, if we can understand, if we are more emotionally intelligent, then just having an IQ, I think this is the way that we can move around. We cannot change the situations, but we can definitely change the way we perceive a situation. The difference is all between how you perceive a situation to how you deal a situation. How we deal a situation. I think with this, because I have heard in depth of what exactly is empathy, what exactly is the importance of communication skills, and I've heard one more speaker talking about the trust factor in a relationship. Anything is possible when we firmly believe that as a person, we don't exist. We are all here, connected to each other through, because I can see people are coming from different countries. We are all here on a common platform to really do something for the youth, to really bring in a change in the society. And because we have a feeling, we have an empathy for the whole society as a huge. I'm not looking at India, so I need to do only for my India, or sister Queen Elizabeth is not looking at UK, or somebody is just not looking at US. We are trying to do something for a frame that is much bigger. So we are all trying to see a larger picture of what we are actually living. And in fact, the reality is we are much larger than what we actually show off. And we are all much larger than our name. We are much larger than our personality. We are much larger than our gender. We are much larger than our profession. We are much larger than our careers. We are much larger than our surnames. I think if we can remember that we are much larger and we are part of a huge global society, rather than looking at ourselves, we all tend to actually start being more and more diplomatic in our approach, considering all these aspects. I think with this, I'll end my talk. And thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. And it's been a pleasure listening to you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Kavita, for honoring our invitation and also joining us early this morning, and also being with us throughout up to this time that you will need to leave. I really appreciate your time. We appreciate your contribution. We appreciate your powerful words that you have shared with us this afternoon. Your wealth of knowledge is powerful, and we want to say thank you. And I know that we are still going to hear from you, because you are also part of our great teachers that will be teaching us during our master class. So on behalf of Y.Y.C.I International, thank you so much. And you are also part of our advisory board member, so we appreciate you. Thank you
so much.
Okay, right. We just missed out one of our king. I hope he will be able to join us again because he's on his way for a meeting. Our King Chooks from Ghana. He will try to rejoin us if possible, or send a video. But meanwhile, let's continue our journey because we are watching the time, and we might be able to move our extend it to tomorrow as well, but we are still enjoying the atmosphere at the moment. I want to use this time to appreciate and acknowledge the president of Culture Gate, the name of Dr. Felix Okunuga. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you. Professor M.S. Pavers, we appreciate you, sir, for joining us today, and many, many more that I couldn't read their names because they've used usuals, they've used phone numbers, phone names, but I appreciate you all for joining us today. Okay, let's continue to invite, let's now invite Dr. Ediana to introduce Professor Nada.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Kavita and Professor Queen. So now from India, let's move to Croatia to call my best friend, Professor Nada Ratkovic, who has been staying here since the beginning. I know maybe she hasn't had her lunch. But now let's welcome Professor Nada. Please enlighten us with your knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you, dear Diana. First, I want to thanks to our great Dr. Queen for invitation and for this amazing mindset for transformation, the relationship conference last year. Really, it was, I can say, epic, outstanding. And as our Dr. TPS said, we talk a lot about these relationships, transformation, and I'm sure that from last year till this year, many of us develop that skills and that mindset and change the mindset and get the positive wisdom. So Professor Nada was listening from the morning, from the start, and she was thinking what she will talk today. Everybody is mentioning a lot of things. So I will talk about the love. So does relationship matter in love? So what is love? We know that we have that emotion. We know that we are human beings. So there are many kinds of love, but people are always seeking to make an expression in a romantic relationship with a partner. So, what matters when you love someone? So, today, being able to trust each other. This is also important. It doesn't matter how much you love another person. If you can't trust them, it is not going to work. So, trust is essential to the healthy relationships. So, what and why? What are the first things and what today the experts are
Prosperous
saying
future
when
for all.
we are
Thank you
accessing
so
this
much, everybody,
couples
for
connection. So first thing, as I said, it is being able to trust each other. It doesn't matter how much you love another person. If you can trust them, it is not going to work. So trust is always essential to the healthy relationship. So, which is why, and always one of the first things that we need to lock on the couple's connection. So, if we are not just talking about the cheating, if we are not talking about the trust is information, and trust will be then vulnerable. So, without trust, you will live a life of stress and you will be always hurted. So, ask yourself, do you really want to spend your days with somebody with a gut wishing person who is worried that will come make heavy and make this your partner? So if it doesn't come right away, you can work on getting there over time and possibly with the help of therapists, and such a lot of narcissistic persons are around us, and even you think that a person is not selfish or a narcissist. Don't think that you are always right. You really need to try to get help. So the second thing is when I say after trust is respect. Have you ever had or witnessed a conversation like, my partner is a jerk, so then why do you stay with him? So, because we always hear the answer, because I love him. So, this is something that is showing that love can be blind. So, is this a reality? This can be a very bad situation. So we can include someone who doesn't show you the respect, and respect, keep on your mind. Keep on your mind. Losing the person you love so much is miserable, but keep in the mind though how much more important respect in when looking for some relationship we need to put. So there are a lot of therapists around you. You have your friends. Ask for the help. Then uh, I said trust, respect, and feeling safe and secure around each other. You really need to feel safe and secure. So, are you safe in your relationship? How do you feel? How do you feel that? Are you sure? So, no, it doesn't matter a thing. Try, try because a little bit how much you love the person, especially if it is becoming an emotionally abusive. We know that it can be abusive relationship. So toxic situation is really it is really a toxic situation no matter how much you try to frame that. But if but if can be really tough to see when all are only focused on this thing. So of course these types of relationships are destroying you. So if you have the case of toxic situation, for you, it is always best to look for a safe way to get out. Even you think that you love a person, you need to move from that relationship. Love is never going to be enough to fix an emotionally abusive partner. So no matter how hard you are trying. Today, I said trust, respect, safe, happiness. Everyone wants to be happy, and happiness is really important. Even you want to be happy all the time. In fact, it is really normal. So there are long periods of time when you are unhappy. You are feeling unhappy. So especially if you are dealing with a crisis, then what to do? You are not happy. Uh, Making this time should come out of you so most loving, it takes a part. So it is really necessary to continue learning about each other, including sharing your hopes, dreams, fears, understanding what is driving your partner in their life and how can they change over that time. So it is not only helping you feel closely, genuinely liking each other. So it's more today, it's more common than you think for people to stay in the relationships with people they don't actually like. So if you can't do that, if your brain is not working on that way, think about that. Think about that. Who will judge you? How are you feeling? So you love them because they are part of you, but you don't actually like being around them. So you might love them so much, but not enjoy the way, not make each other love, not have anyone, someone. So these things can grow stale and take no. So why you can't force yourself to like someone? An ongoing sense of connection. So does it need to be built? Does it need to be maintained? It's all about your mindset. It's all about being truly, you are curious about who your partner is, who they are becoming, and how you can find a common interest and connection. So, Professor Nada can talk till tomorrow. We can continue this topic because
I was going to remind you have only 5 minutes.
yes, and I am stopping, Professor Kerudin. I'm stopping, and I want to say that we had the first master class. Dr. Queen was really amazing when we talk about the love according to the Bible, and our eminent grace speaker is here, and we will continue in our master classes. Thank you for the honor.
Thank you, Prof. Nada, as usual, for the awesome sharing. My forever partner in webinars. Thank you again, Prof. Nada Ratkovic from Croatia. Now let's move on. Dr. Diana, we can now call Dr. Fatah Tomomade. Are you there, Dr. Fatah?
Dr. Fatai Toromade, are you still with us? I know he said he was doing something at the background.
Yes, I saw that he's here.
Okay,
Oh.
Dr. Fatai Toromade.
I think I
Okay.
say, yeah, Dr. Fatai Toromade Ademola. Is that the one?
Yes, that's the one. Okay,
He's still muted.
okay. While we're
Okay.
waiting for him, can we call on the next person on your list?
We call the next one, we call Dr. Felix Okunuga. Dr. Felix, where are you? Are you there? Dr. Felix?
Yes, I can see him. Yes, can
Dr.
you?
Felix. So who wants to go first, Dr. Felix
Yes.
or
No,
Dr. Fatah Toromade?
Okay, while we are waiting for Dr. Toromade, I think Dr. Phillips will be speaking to us now. Yes, he's up. Yes, he's unmute himself.
Is he there? I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him.
Professor Charles, welcome back to this conference. Thank you, sir. Okay, so Dr. Felix, yes, we are waiting for you. Or
Dr. Felix? Dr.
Yeah,
Felix?
good afternoon, good day, wherever you're listening across the globe.
Is it possible to open your camera or is there any issue?
Can we see you, Dr. Felix?
Okay.
Yeah, we see you. Okay, go ahead, please.
Thank you so much. Yes, yes.
My name is Morgan Okunuga, speaking from Nigeria. From Africa, I would say one love to all speakers on this platform. And special respect to our Golden International Speaker, the new Culture Gate Humanitarian Award recipient, Professor Dr. Queen Elizabeth Lucas. We really appreciate you. Mindset, transforming relationship is a key word. It's like change. Change is inevitable in life. And I can say practically that I'm a symbol of mindset transformation. I transformed from one level to another as I grew, as I was growing. As a senior prefect in a primary school, to social prefect in secondary school, to formation of social organization in the university, and organizing several events, getting into media sector in Lagos, and operating as PR manager in the media, later to an international organization with headquarters in UK, EMI International. I happen to be their media manager for years. Now, on Culture Gate, what I'm trying to drive at is change is inevitable. You deal with different people in life, different categories of people, from childhood stage to teenagers age, where I was in secondary school, to university level, where I handle major events. Now, to the public, where you work with bigger people across the world. We had our branches all over the world, and we are interacting, we are communicating. It's absolute change of mindset. You could not go with the mindset of primary school or secondary school or university to the public sector. It keeps changing. Today, what I'm going through is a challenging phenomenon. We are having people from different parts of the world in Culture Gate. It started like Culture Gate Nigeria to Culture Gate Africa. Now it's global because it has no restriction. White people, Black people, and all sort of people are members of Culture Gate. No discrimination of any kind. We're having Americans, we're having Europeans as members of Culture Gate. Now, to deal with these people, your mindset transformation is key to every sector of our life. Talk of your home is a different ballgame. For the fact that you're dealing with all these people, you have challenges at home. To deal with those challenges, it's in your hand. Once you know your dream, you know your direction, you know what you want to achieve, then you can move on and transform into different stage of life, of operations. I dealt with the media. It's different. Dealing with media, radio, TV, newspaper, and all that is different from dealing with workers in the office. Different from dealing with fellow students when I was a student. It's now different from dealing with my fellow Nigerians and dealing with the entire world. So mindset transformation is so key to life. Actually in line with everything that has to do with this project. I really appreciate it. I really acknowledge all the speakers. Somebody mentioned diplomatic. One or two people have mentioned diplomatic. It is so diplomatic to deal with people. You have to be humble. You have to know what you are doing. What is your dream? You, as much as you're defending your dream, you need to be diplomatic to make your dream a success because you're dealing with different class of people. Even your children in the family, your wife in the family, your uncles, especially in Africa, where we are all related. For example, we had a project few days ago. Some of my members came to me. You gave award to somebody in America, somebody in UK, somebody in Cuba, somebody, you know. So you must charge them so much. I laughed, you know. We are doing a kind of humanitarian activities. We recognize what these people have done in diaspora. And we are bringing them to focus. We are appreciating them so that they can do more for Africa. Now you are coming up to ask us if we charge them. So that fellow believed that we must have charged pounds and dollars to give awards. But I called Turumade and a couple of other people that are intelligent enough that we know how to deal with this kind of attitude. So much attitudes are coming up in every sector of life. This is just a simple example. So many examples comes up. If I'm to speak about the changes, the challenges, the trouble you go through dealing with people, it's kind of endless. But the key word is mindset transformation. The moment you are able to key into change your mindset in relating with people, even in the marketplace, in the bus, you move from international airport Nigeria, you get to UK Heathrow, you need to change. Change is inevitable. That's all I can say for now in respect of mindset. Mindset is diplomatic. Mindset is change from time to time, and key into it, and your life will not remain the same. Your business will not remain the same. Your joy of doing the right thing will not remain the same. Thank you so much, Prof.
Thank you so much, Dr. Felix
Thank you,
Okunuga
Dr. Felix.
from Culture Gate Global Africa. We really appreciate you. In fact, you are speaking my language because you know mindset is everything, and I will keep on all along talk about that. So you have spoken on my behalf today on mindset. So I really appreciate, and thank you once again for honoring me last week Saturday, especially in your big program as one of your humanitarian mother or queen. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Dr. Turomade, are you here? Are you still here? If Dr. Turomade,
are you ready? Dr. Fatah Toromade, are you here?
Okay, it's not here. Yes.
Sorry, my queen. I'm going to ask to excuse myself. I got a meeting at 2:30.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, our Royal Majesty from our Royal Majesty Dr. King Leicester
Monarch the third.
from South Africa. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, you are permitted. You can live for your meeting. May God bless you. May God save you. May God prosper your ways. Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate you joining us today. Okay.
Thank you, Royal.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
sir.
everyone.
All right.
Okay.
We want to appreciate
All
all our great leaders that are still on the platform, that are still going to speak to us today. Like I said, if we can't call you today, please join us again tomorrow so that we can, the same time from 10 o'clock, and we can finish up earlier today and also continue tomorrow. I want to also appreciate all my moderators. They are doing a great job. Thank you so much, Dr. Mike Littman. Thank you so much, Professor Karudin. And thank you so much, Dr. Ediana, for really moderating. Yes, we are still continue. I just want to express my gratitude to you all. I want to also acknowledge Professor Perverse from Indonesia. Am I right? No, from Bangladesh. From Bangladesh. Yes, from Bangladesh. I also want to recognize my beautiful sister Betty
brother
from United Kingdom. I want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate Ambassador Elena. Wow, you've been sitting down quietly, nicely over there. Thank you so much for joining us. I also want to appreciate Ambassador Dr. Anogu. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Oh, ma'am, from Pakistan. Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Samina. Thank you so much with your smile. I didn't see you opening your camera today, but I really appreciate your presence. And Dr. Stephen Cameron, thank you so much. Ambassador Caleb, please be ready. We are calling you very shortly. Be ready, be ready. Ambassador Anogu, please be ready. We are calling you shortly. And Laji Rahama, please be ready. We are calling you very, very soon. And also many, many people. So please be ready. Thank you so much, Ambassador Robin. Thank you so much for joining us today. All right. So I'm going to hand over to my moderator to help me to welcome Professor Pavas to quickly speak. And after that, please welcome Ambassador Caleb Simileyi also to speak immediately after Professor Pavas. I also want Pastor Awodiran to speak immediately after Kalin Timileyin Samuel. So let's continue like that. I also would like you to call on Ambassador Dr. Anogu Augustine. Actually, Ambassador Dr. Anogu have been here since morning. Can we call him first, please? If he's still around. He's been here since morning. Please call Ambassador Anogu and then Professor Pavas. Thank you.
You mean Dr. Felix, Professor Okunuga?
No, he has spoken already. I'm
Okay.
talking about Dr. Okay, let me call him.
Yeah.
Ambassador Dr. Anogu Augustine, are you here with us, sir? Right, okay, we can hear from him. Probably he's still on in the background. He will speak to us
Yes,
very
I'm here.
Okay, yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, we can hear.
Sorry, we call you late, but we would like you to express your message to us this afternoon.
Okay. Good afternoon,
Is it
everybody.
possible to open your camera? Is it possible, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
We like to see. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Very, very happy to be part of this wonderful conference about. I just want to just touch small on transformational leadership, which have become one of our topic these very days. And briefly, so I congratulate everybody, those that have spoken and those that are going to speak. I am welcoming everybody. Also, I welcome myself, thanking African Queen in a special way for organizing such a wonderful time for friends to meet together. And the moderator, you're a wonderful one. So I thank you all. So transformational leadership is a management philosophy that encourages and inspires employees to innovate and develop new ways to grow and improve the path to a company. Companies for success. Using this method, the executive gives trusted employees the independence to make decisions and they support new problem approaches. So it will be what everybody is going to apply. I would have liked to talk about our African leadership and the transformational measure that's supposed to be taken, because I know that Africans are well blessed, but at the part of leadership, we are having some problems. And that's why some African leaders are seeing themselves as not leaders, but gods. And that is why people are suffering. And then coming down to youth and every other person, it is affecting us, because leaders are people that we're supposed to emulate in all diversity. But in some of other ways, it is not working like that, because even some parents who are leaders of their families are not getting it right. So I thank God for this very conference. If we can listen from the people that have spoken before, and then we ourselves can encourage ourselves to be better. I know there are 4 components of transformative leadership or transformational leadership. First of all, we have to talk about intellectual stimulation. Then we look at individualized consideration. Then we look at inspirational motivation. And then we also conclude with idealized influence. So under intellectual stimulation, there is one of the SDG Goal 9 points there that is very, very important. That is innovation. From innovation, you get creativity. From creativity, you actualize goals. And from goals, you will be able to face every challenges. Because when somebody is innovative and creative and achieve goals, then any other challenge can be, problem can be solved. Then in the individualized consideration, we talk about mentorship. Mentorship is a problem if those who are leaders can be good mentors. I think others, followers, will be able to emulate from them and then be good followers. And from there, we have another good leaders in future. Then empathy is very important in as individual consideration may have it, purpose, and also strengths and the skill. Then we look into inspirational motivation. In inspirational motivation, we get clear vision. We get optimism. We get inclusion. And then finalize it, it will appear in productivity. That will be a wonderful thing as we considering about transformational leadership. Then idealized influence. In idealized influence, we expect role model. Role model is a very important thing to look into, because if leaders want to really give us what we want, or if we are going to have the leaders that have changed, the leaders that have given the world what they're supposed to get, or the leaders that are training children how tomorrow is supposed to be, then those leaders must appear in role model, that people will look at them and say, I want to be like this very leader. But I don't know how many leaders in Africa now that you can look at them and say, I want to be like them. Then we talk of walk the walk, not talk the walk, but walk the walk. If a leader can walk the walk, then others will emulate and walk the walk. Before you know it, the whole society and other leaders and the potential leaders will be walking the walk. And from there, you will see the nation and the countries walking the walk, and then we will have a better society. Then enthusiasm, somebody that is doing everything with all the pride and with every happiness, doing it as this is my work. Happy in my, there's a difference between a hired person and somebody that owns the ground. You know, a good manager will never engage himself in damaging, because there are managers and there are damagers. So good leadership and transformative leadership we are talking about today will never and will not try to be damagers. Instead, they will be managers, not managing what will be seen only physical, but psychological managers also. Then think of embodied value. You know, this is all that is going to appear under this very idealized influence. Then I want to conclude by also saying that as far as leadership is concerned, there are things that a leader who hope to train people, who hope to be a role model, who hope to be exemplary leadership, who hope to change certain things, because our problem is that somebody might be by the side and be talking. When you have given the person an opportunity to act, he will just, or she will spoil everything. You will begin to think, is it not this very person I've been discussing how to be a role model, how to be a good leader that is acting like this? What is the problem now? Okay, because people are seeing, especially Africans, are seeing leadership as an opportunity for other people under him or her to be dehumanized, to be frustrated. There is an opportunity to become lords, lording over everybody. No, a leader must be a goal-getter. A leader must be a pathfinder. A leader must never be like a ruler without like a compass without a ruler. A leader must be, in conclusion, every leader, if you want to transform order, you are going to be down on the ground, whereby you are going to declare yourself like a garbage, a dustbin. Let everybody come with their rubbish, and then you are going to harness it, and then you are going to transform it, that every mistake will turn into a miracle. That is expectation of a transformative professional leadership. Thank you very much. May God continue to bless and reward all of us. Thank you very much, wherever you may be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your contribution. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anaku. And yeah, actually, I think in most of countries, especially developing countries, we know that leadership is truly important. Even we need to build networking, but sometimes people also forgot while building networking, they just like take advantage from others, which is not really good. So that's why we are here today in the relationship conference. So now let me call our next speaker. Okay, we got here with us Professor Sagar Parvez from Bangladesh. Please welcome, sir, and let it us.
Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, Professor Parvez. The floor is yours, please. Please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Actually, at first, I give my gratitude to our Queen, our Professor, Dr. Queen Elizabeth. Madam, you are amazing, because this is a platform where you create something that, yes, relationship is a matter for our life. And yes, in front of me, there are so many dignities from all around the world. And yes, you are enlightened this platform, this wonderful platform. And yes, the point is here that we are actually say that the transformation of the relationship. And when the relationship actually began, the relationship began at the time of a child born. So when the child born, at that time, the he or she just actually connected the relationship with this world, because at that time he or she needs something. Without needs, relationship actually not sustain. So needs is the main basic thing in a relationship. Why we are the social being? We are the social animal. Like as a man, we needs woman. Like as a child, we need mother, we need father, we need parents. So we need our sister, our brother, our friend. Each and every moment we are in a relationship. So relationship is a fact that without relationship, it's not possible for you to sustain your life. So relationship is a matter. So now come to the point that my time is short, I know that. So in a relationship, basically you have the four agreement. Like if you want to sustain the transformation of the relationship, that you must maintain the four agreement. Number one is the word, honesty of your word. If you are honest in your relationship, you should talk, you should speak in a honest, like yes, I love you. If you say yes, I love you, then that word must be said from your heart, that yes, I am actually loving you. Otherwise, if you just flattering a person and say, I love you, then I think that kind of relationship will never sustain in your life. So what is the main thing for your relationship in a agreement thing? Another point is come, that is called, do not take things personally, because it is our life. If you just say I'm a very egoistic person, or you don't do this thing in front of me, I'm very egoistic person, don't think this thing, because each and every relationship actually build up little bit from the day 1 to 100 or 200 days or 300 days or more than years. So you don't take things personally. So if someone say behave with you that you don't like her or him, don't think that it is the personality things. Think it that he or she in a problem. So understand her, understand him, that what's the problem behind him. So that is the main thing. Another agreement is come, that is, do not make relationship in a assumption that I am the celebrity, each of the person love me. So do not make the thing in an assumption, because each and every person have their own rights, have their own personality. So you must think about yourself that you are a simple person. If you think that yes, I am a simple person, then I respect him, or I respect the people, then you also get respect from them. So that is the main thing, that in a relationship, don't make thing in an assumption. And another point is come, always do the thing from the best of your heart. Then that is the main thing. Now come to the point, the relationship. In a Maslow's hierarchy, it is a theoretical point. Like I'm a professor, I always try to blend up the relationship in a theory. In a Maslow's hierarchy, what we actually observe, we observe that from the day one, a person needs a relationship that is called the physical needs or the psychological needs, like your food, your shelter, your clothing. This is a relationship. And then when you capture that relationship, you are come to the next part, next level, that is called your family, your social ability. And after that time, in step 3, you are in a love and belongingness, like your family, like your intimacy, like your sense of connection. And after that, you are in a self-esteem and self-actualization. So in a Maslow's hierarchy, you also find out that the Professor Maslow's also doing this triangle in a thinking about the transformation of the relationship. So I think if we are in a social animal, we are in a social person in this world, we must maintain the relationship from our heart, not from our brain. So if we think that yes, I am a true person, I love people and I need people, then relationship will continually sustain in your life. So thank you so much for calling me or inviting me this kinds of wonderful platform. And I'm just say one or two words that yes, I have one dream to maintain this relationship. That is called, I don't want any kinds of old home in this society, because our parents is our asset. So if we maintain the relationship, we must respect our parents, must respect our elders. How can, if you don't respect your parents or elders, how you thinking that your junior or your younger respect you? So this is my dream, that in this world, we don't want any kinds of old home. So thank you so much for inviting me this kinds of platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you so
Professor
Thank
much,
you.
Parvez.
Professor
All
Parfait.
right.
You know,
Okay,
like
who's our next speaker now, Adriana?
Okay.
Mr. Kelly, but I think our king is back, right? Dr. Toromade?
Yes.
Yes,
Our
Oh,
prince is back.
let's
Okay.
let's allow him to speak.
So, because our king is back from Professor Parfes, we can go back to our king, Dr. Toromade Ademula Fatah. Please enlighten us with your
Please.
answer.
All yours, Dr.
What-
Fatah.
Yeah, thanks so much. And I'm so sorry I have about 3 engagements today, but yes, we can international means a lot to me. I try as much as possible to make sure that I balance things up. But one of the basic principles of life is that do all you have accepted to do. I have accepted those engagements before now, so I just have to split myself. So talking about the program and project at hand, your mindset, how does it affect relationship and so other things? I strongly believe in one thing, that whatever you think you are affects your relationship with others, because it is what you think you are that is the content, and you as the container expresses what is within your content. As a child, when I was growing up, I tried to see what will make me different from others, what will affect my relationship with others. My name is was rather F-A-T-A-I, which means Fatai. But I changed it to Fatah, F-A-T-A-H, which means Fine Art Technicality Awareness House. If it is I, it will be Fine Art Technicality Awareness Individual. I strongly believe that a house is bigger than an individual. In a house, you have quite a lot of people. Then I look at my surname, Torumade. What does it mean? I now say, okay, Torumade means the only redeemer of mentalized Africa developmental evangelism. And that is the reason why I try as much as possible to portray the African concept, the African idea, African ways of life, because I'm an evangelist of culture and creativity. Now, you as a leader, who are you? I try to teach my students and my daughters never to lie. Whatever happens, they should not tell a lie. A day, my daughter, I promised my daughter several times I'm going to take her to the zoo, which I never did because of my tight schedule. My daughter now called me one day that, Daddy, what if a child tell his father, father, I want to do this, I want to do that, and the child failed? What kind of a child is that? That lied. I said, that's not a good child. He said, but you have promised to take me to zoos several times. You never did. What kind of a father are you? So I felt so bad. Despite the fact that I was unable to, I had to mandate somebody to take her to the zoo. And I equally told my children, whatever they see anything on the ground, they should never pick it. But there came a day, I saw a new ball point pen on the ground, very new one. I pick it. My daughter asked me a question, why do you have to pick it? Because I've warned them never to do that. I said, I pick it up because I don't want any vehicle to roll on it because it will spoil it. I thought my daughter has forgotten. As we are going, we got to a place that is a secluded area. No vehicle can. My daughter now called my attention and said, Daddy, drop that barrel here, that ball point here, because no vehicle will match on it. That was how I was caught. I had to lie again that as an elderly person, I can pick it on the ground, but children should never pick that on the ground. But as a father, what kind of a role model are you? I had a kind of appointment with one monarch. He wanted me to come and visit him in his palace, and we agreed on a date. So he just called me to know where I am. And I was trying to tell him that I was already on the way. He said, Torumade, where are you now? I said, I am in Osogbo. Osogbo is like the halfway to his town. He said, beautiful, that he is in Osogbo presently. And whereas I was in Ife, about 45 kilometers away, I lied. The king had to wait for me for almost 40 hours, 40 minutes, 1 hour waiting for me. Eventually, when I got there, the king looked at me because I had lost a little bit of integrity. So in whatever dealing we are doing, we should be truthful. And from that day henceforth, I have decided that no matter what happens, no matter what it's going to cost me, I am going to say the truth. So about 2 months ago,
I think we are enjoying the story that the internet, the connection won't continue.
Hello?
Yeah, continue.
That was how somebody now went and wrote a petition against me at the Nigeria Commission in Trinidad and Tobago that I am fake because I don't have certificate of registration of my business. So they now asked me to provide my certificate of business registration in Nigeria. So people try to rally around me to support me by giving me their certificate of registration. I said no. As an active civil servant in Nigeria, the code of ethics does not permit me to register my business organization. I now wrote back to the Nigerian commissioner in Trinidad and Tobago. I stated, and I told them, though I don't have registration because it is against the ethic of Civil Service Commission. But despite that fact, these are the projects I've done. I've done projects with UNESCO, done projects with it. To cut long story short, that was how they were given. And when they came to Nigeria, I never knew that they had single visa entry. And because they are from Trinidad and Tobago, they don't need visa to enter Ghana. They went to Ghana, but they were not allowed to enter Nigeria again. And ordinarily, to get them what we call gratis would take about 24 hours or 36 hours. I was able to get them gratis less than 12 hours because of my integrity. So what am I trying to say? When you are trying to build relationship, it all starts with your mindset. Because whatever you think, you create. Whatever you create, you become. Whatever you become, you express. Whatever you express, you experience. And whatever you experience, that is what you have. For me, I do not believe there is roadblock. Because whatever you're saying as a stumbling blocks, if you look at it very well, could be your stepping stones. Whatever you see as test, when you look clearly at it, those could be your testimony. Whatever you see as trials, if you carefully study them, could be things that will make you triumph in life. So there is no limitation except those ones you set for yourself. And in my school, I tell them I am not teaching you as students to pass your exam. It sounds so funny, but that is the truth. But I'm teaching you, I'm giving you experiences that will make you to pass the exams of life. Because most of the things you study in school practically are useless when it comes into the labor market. But so.
Okay, so we're going to tell him to round up now, whenever he's ready, so that we can quickly.
She's building, making, creating, weaving a new extensive extension that will be, because the only activity that leads to productivity is creativity. And whatever you are doing in life, you have to be creative about it. And creativity can also come if the source of that creativity is not within your mindset. Because whatever you cannot imagine, there is no way you can create it. Whatever is not within you as a content cannot come out. You have the, how do I put it? You have that software within you, but nobody's going to see that software unless it becomes practical. So this kind of interaction, this kind of conference are the kind of conference that the world needs, because we have to be productive, and we can't be productive if we are seductive within ourselves. We should not inhibit whatever knowledge we have within we have to exhibit it. We have to interact with people. We have to engage with them, because I strongly believe in one thing: as the skeleton determines the structure of the human body, so also the youth determine the structure, nature, and the infrastructure of any nation. I thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk with you, and I'll be looking forward to engaging you more in future. But I strongly believe that the seed we are planting today, in the nearest future, we are going to look and live within and behind a more immune society, where we will see ourselves not as a white man, not as a black man, not as Arabian, not as a Christian, not as a Muslim, but we will look at ourselves and we interact with ourselves as member of the human race. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Fatah. Well said, well said. You have,
thank you so much. Thank you so much. And
you
can I
have
quickly
crystallized a lot of points that links to leadership, okay?
Yes.
Transforming leadership. Thank you,
Yes,
Dr.
thank you
Fatah.
so much. And can I also say that His Excellency Prince Dr. Toromade Ademola Fatah is also representing another king that's supposed to be here, but he will not be able to be here. But I believe next time we are doing the conference, Kabiyesi Oba Olujudo will be here live.
The problem is that he never knew how to link up. And by the time he called me, the gap, but possibly tomorrow, if there is chance tomorrow, I'm going to be with you tomorrow and we'll link up.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
So that's wonderful, amazing.
Wonderful.
Thank you so
Dr.
much.
Toromade
Thank you.
Ademola Fatah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Can I quickly call? I know that our next person to call is Ambassador Caleb Timileyi. But Ambassador James has been here since morning and he have to go for a meeting where he is the guest speaker there. So can you give me the permission to call on him, please, my great moderators?
Please, please,
Yes,
please.
yes.
I thought we
Okay.
were going to call Mike, Dr. Elizabeth, Professor Elizabeth. I thought we were going to call Mike Littman.
Yes, he's going to. He's part of us since morning. He's part of us since morning. We are doing this conference together.
Oh, okay.
More than 3 hours, you know, more
Okay,
than
okay,
three
okay.
All
hours.
right.
I want
Okay.
to tell you something. Like I
Yeah,
see
yeah.
today,
You are still, we are still.
He's
everywhere.
trying to be
But today,
comfortable.
All my moderators are still going to be speaking. So
Yeah.
definitely.
but today I've been through really a
Yeah.
great test. Why? Because listening is more consumable.
Yes,
And listening
Don't forget your water, okay?
Okay,
Bring
get
water.
your water.
That'll be a
We are
great
coming.
team.
So
Okay.
let us quickly, because I can see that Ambassador James is ready to move on, the guest speaker of another great graduation from that
Ambassador
one.
James is already smiling there.
Training. I'm also supposed to be in that graduation, but I'll find my way after this conference. But meanwhile, say my love to the organizer, Ambassador Dennis, that I'm still on my way, but you can speak yours now quickly.
Who? Mike or Ambassador?
Ambassador James.
Oh,
Desi.
yes, Ambassador James, that's it. Please.
Okay,
The
please,
floor is yours.
quickly. And after that, we can call on Caleb to speak. Okay, quickly.
All right, thank you for the opportunity, Queen Mother. We want to say thank you, and to everyone, we want to say thank you for this opportunity. It's a pleasure to be with you today in this all important conference. And I want to talk about art and forgiveness, in which is most part of nature as life. We must believe in relationship. We must believe in forgiveness. In culture, in leadership, we must have the mindset of forgiving each other, because without forgiveness, we cannot make it, we cannot live a life that we deserve. So in order to live a righteous relationship life, there must be a partner who is able or who is willing to at least let go, an issue, at least let go some things that will hurt them. It must be somebody who is always be there to say somebody, I'm sorry. And that sorry should be accepted from your heart. No matter how you hurt somebody, you are being hurt by someone else. But I believe that in the matter of forgiveness, when it's given to you, it must be accepted. So let us take an instance of in the Bible about Jesus. Jesus came into this world and he never committed any sin. He forgave everyone who hurt him, even down to the man who was at the crucifixion when he was on the cross. He asked for forgiveness and it was given to him. He said, "Thou shalt be with me on paradise." So this time around, if anyone in this particular conference that you have an act of not forgiving others, automatically you will not have a mindset of, you will not have a certified mindset. What I mean by certified mindset? Whenever you forgive others, you have a relax of mind. You will grow into emotions. Whenever you forgive each other, you will come together and realize that you guys are united. So in leadership, forgiveness should always be the key to all successful leaders. You must learn how to forgive each other, because it will help to grow your team. And as a leader, there are benefits of being forgive. Number one, it free up your mind. It makes you to be stress-free. So in order to live a life of harmony, you must learn how to forgive. And we say, how can we forgive? Forgiving is not about forgetting. You might forgive somebody today for an act, but it will reflect on your mind whenever you see that person. Forgiving is an act of accepting and letting it be. The way in which the person hurts you in other ways, it will say is an act of letting things go, and also do not reflecting on it in the bad interest, or also allowing people to understand that you have the capacity to let things go in your interest. And forgiveness also build up our mindset as a leader. Whenever we forgive each other, our mindset are always built up. In order to forgive, we must always remember that our Lord and Savior also forgive us. Once more, I want to say thank you for this short insight. We are really, really pleased for being here for this time. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, Ambassador Bassi from Liberia. And
Thank you,
please send
Ambassador
my greetings to Ambassador Dennis. Tell him that very soon I'll be joining the graduation. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right then. Okay.
I'm
Over to
already
you,
here
Dr.
now.
Edina. Thank you.
Okay, next we are going to call Ambassador Khalid because I know like he has been here since the beginning with us. So
Yes, yes.
please welcome Ambassador Khalid Timelin Samuel from
Where
Nigeria.
are you, Caleb?
inviting us.
I thought I saw you just now. Oh, there you
Yes,
are.
he's here.
He
There
is
you are.
coming back.
The platform
Yeah.
is yours, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you very
He
much.
joined
Thank you.
since the beginning,
Yes,
sincerely.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Always very loyal, very faithful. All yours, Caleb.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the invitation. Professor Dr. Queen Elizabeth Lucas, thank you for your invitation. I have listened to virtually everybody who have just spoken, and I discovered that they've spoken about one of the most important aspects of leadership that that the world need currently today. So I will be speaking specifically on the diplomatic relationship in leadership. When we talk about diplomatic relationship, we must understand that diplomacy cannot exist without relationship. And the basis of diplomacy is the fact that we must relate to one another in respectfully. So first of all, before I actually try to make us see the interconnectedness of diplomacy and relationship, I will also want to show us the relevancy of diplomacy and relationship in leadership. So first of all, I would like to define diplomacy for us. What really is diplomacy? Why diplomacy? Why do we need to engage with one another? First of all, we can say diplomacy is the art and science of maintaining peaceful relationship between nations. It could be nations, groups, or individuals. Diplomacy is an art. The ability to be able to dialogue resides in every individual. But the science part of it is the education of diplomacy. You know, for us to be able to maximize our diplomatic ability, I mean, every one of us here have diplomatic skills. Yes, we might not focus on diplomacy, okay? But those of us who focus on diplomacy, we realize that for us to be able to gain mastery on what is called diplomacy, then definitely we need to be educated about diplomacy. And on the other hand, also, I would like to define relationship for us so that we can see the interconnectedness. It is just a way in which two or more people or groups regard and behave towards each other. So when you look at relationship, which is the foundation for diplomacy, you must also come to the conclusion that every human being is a social being. And the fact that we can interact with one another, the fact that we can collaborate with one another, it shows that we are social beings as human. So first of all, I would again like to take us into the context of the 20th century kind of leadership and the 21st century kind of leadership. I have come to the conclusion that when you talk about leadership, there are so many philosophy that are bordering around leadership. I've discovered that the most important component of leadership is philosophy. And I've discovered that the present day leadership philosophy does not really talk about the most important aspect of leadership, which is character. Now, I will buttress a little more on that when I get to that stage. So I discovered that the present day leadership only focus on the academics kind of leadership, on how to control people, on how to lead people, and all of that. But they're not talking about character. That is why the system has created more of politicians than leaders. Now, I must also tell us now that when we talk about politics, politicians and leaders, they are two different things. When you have politicians in power, it does not mean they are leaders. Okay, politics is just more about popularity. That is why they cancel their principle, you know, they cancel their character, which is their principle, so that they can please the masses, so that they can pretend to be people who are leaders. But leaders are people with character. When they talk about character, we can say character is as a result of trust, which is one of the most important aspects of leadership, where some of our respected persons have talked about trust here that have been listening since morning. So for us to be able to maintain leadership, we must also understand that trust is very, very pivotal, especially in building a relationship, diplomatic relationship among leaders. Character is a source of trust. In other words, character is the foundation for trust, which will ensure collaboration even among leaders. And we must also come to the understanding that trust is the currency of leadership. You see, you cannot lead people who do not even trust you. That is the basic thing. You cannot lead people, and trust is a product of character. So in other words, we must come to realize that when we talk about leading people, leadership originally, leadership the way it's supposed to be is about service. It's not about control. You know, politicians tend to control people, and that is why they are not leaders. Politicians, on the other hand, they tend to change their character. Okay, when we talk about character, I must define that also, which is also the foundation for trust. We must also understand that character, I must also dig deeper into the definition of Dr. Miles Monroe on the definition of character. What is character? Character is a commitment to a set of values without compromise. In other words, I am not James in the morning, while I am John in the afternoon, and I am Caleb in the evening. So character is basically what is called integrity. Okay, integrity is when what you say, what you mean, and what you do are one. That is integrity. So, but you see, majority of leaders today are finding it very difficult to relate with one another because they lack integrity. In other words, they lack oneness within themselves. So that is why. So, on another aspect, this is why we try to look at the word integrity and integrated. The word integrity is the same thing as integrated. It means you are one with yourself. So, and this is why majority of the fellowships today, maybe when we talk about scholarships and fellowships, they don't really talk about this thing called character, and it's the foundation for leadership. They don't really talk about it. So let me give you another definition of character by Dr. Miles Monroe, where he said character is sacrifice for principles. In other words, you are not willing to break your principles just to please people. And a leader is someone who does not break principles. He stands firm on his principles. Okay, he's not for sale. He's not for sale at all. It is basically a dedication to a set of standards without wavering. So that is what is called character. So when we talk about a diplomatic relationship in leadership, we must also talk about how we can build this relationship. What are the things we need that can make us build this relationship even among leaders? When we've talked about trust and its interconnectedness with character and integrity, we must also understand that we need also to talk about the collaborative aspect of leadership. Okay, for people to collaborate with you, then definitely they must trust you. Then for people to collaborate with you, you must have integrity. The foundation for integrity is trust. So if they don't trust, if they don't trust your integrity, if there's no integrity, then definitely you are someone that cannot be trusted as a leader. And as I've said before, character is the foundation for what the most basic principle, one of the most powerful force in leadership, which is character. So another thing we need to look about is to talk about.
Caleb, can I ask you to round up, please?
Oh yes, ma'am. I'm doing that right now. So another point I need to make note of is encouraging open feedback. Then definitely when you're encouraging open feedback, then it brings about transparency, which we're talking about, which is the trust, and also the frequency in asking questions. You know, you must develop an inquiring mind. You know, you leave your discussion, make it an open-ended one so that there can be different question is, and this will also strengthen the collaboration and the relationship skills even among leaders all around the world. So thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you, Brother
Thank
Khalid,
you.
for that
And
very exhaustive, discussion on relationship. Okay, without further ado, may I now invite Ambassador Eline Shalamberidze from Georgia. Can you share with us your thoughts on today's topic, please? Eline?
Hello, everyone. From Georgia, I am Ela Chamberze. Many thanks to the Queen Elizabeth for inviting. It's a really great honor for me. And congratulations to everyone. We are preparing for Easter. Orthodox Christians are preparing for Easter. Today, I want to talk about a very important issue for me, the importance of quality early education. Success in all areas depends on a healthy relationship in general. Along with the availability of early education, its quality should be a primary concern. The child is at the center of quality early education. Therefore, the main vision of providing quality education is often referred to as child-centered or child-centered education. We can discussing 5 main characteristics of child-centered early education. Child-centered early education sees the child as an individual with unique personal characteristics and experiences, abilities, interests, and needs. The child is cared for at the same time recognizing specialist and the independent person and an active participant in the education process. Environment. A child-centered environment include both physical and social dimensions. It protects the physical and emotional safety of the child. The environment is healthy and free from harmful and dangerous objects and substances and experiences and attitudes. Each child feels like a member of the group. Content. The content of child-centered early education takes into account the holistic and multifaceted development of the child and promotes the development of physical, cognitive, social, and emotional competences. At the same time, the content corresponds to the cultural and social context and experiences of children, the development of creativity, independence, and self-care skills, establishing the value of equality and more. Process. The processes of child-centered early education is based on exciting significant knowledge about child's learning and development. It uses play as the main strategy of learning and development. It is based on the principles of integrated learning, gives the child the opportunity of innovative and choice. A child-centered processes involves the cooperation and involvement of all parts. The child, the family, and the kindergarten staff. What do we promote? How and how effectively do we do so? That is why assessment of achievements and challenges, self-evaluation, reflection, and teamwork are integral components of child-centered education. Therefore, caring for quality education starts from an early age. And correct positive communication is very important in shaping a young person into a good person. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ambassador Eline Shalamberidze, for your very exhaustive, overview on the topic from the early childhood development.
Thank you.
How important it is, to have it, the child to have a proper, understanding, so that he or she later on to grow up to have a good mindset for personality, and relationships with others. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who shall we call next, Dr. Queen?
Professor Karudin. Yes, we are going to call people. Let me first of all express my gratitude to Ambassador Elena, being the youngest in our platform today.
Yes.
She represents all our children, our young ambassador. So I want to say thank you so much, Ambassador Elena. And where is your mom today? Ambassador Engr.
My mom
Oh, yeah.
have many things for to do.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
So if you can remind her that we'll be expecting her tomorrow because we've extended this conference to tomorrow. So if she
Yes.
can join us
Tell her
tomorrow,
everybody is
we will-
asking for your mom.
Yes, I
we
think
will
yes.
help. We will we will be waiting for that. So
All right.
thank you so much, Ambassador Elena,
Thank
for sharing with us today. Thank you. Okay, I would like to hand over to Dr. Mike Littman to call on our guest of honor from United Kingdom, Betty, Ambassador Betty.
All yours, Mike.
Appreciate it, Alex. Feelings of appreciation.
First of all, let us know if she's here. Ambassador Betty, are you still here? Because I know I can see your platform user's name.
Yes, I am. I was actually having my lunch. I apologize.
Do you want to finish your lunch and
Okay,
come
well,
back?
what is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
Okay.
I apologize.
Okay, that's fine. So
Okay.
can you call on Dr. Stephen Cameron to speak? And then we come back to Ambassador Betty.
Thank you.
Dr. Stephen Cameron, are you here?
Yes,
Good.
Professor Dr. Queen Elizabeth Lucas, I'm here.
Oh, Dr.
Thank you.
Stephen Cameron. All yours, Dr. Stephen.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right.
A very dear Professor Dr. Queen Elizabeth Lucas and all the great leaders, great doctors, great ambassadors, great professors, and other exceptional leaders from across the globe. It's an honor to be with you all today and delve into the topic of mindset for diplomatic personality and relationship. To elaborate it out, it is nurturing a diplomatic mindset for building strong relationships and fostering effective leadership. In a world where collaboration and understanding are paramount, cultivating diplomatic skills is not just an option, but it is a necessity for success. Diplomacy is the art and science of managing relationships and resolving conflicts through dialogues, negotiations, and compromises. While traditionally associated with just international affairs, now diplomacy goes beyond geographical boundaries and now is equally applicable in interpersonal relationships, organizational relationships, and social relationship contexts. It is about fostering mutual respect, empathy, and understanding even in the face of disagreement or discord. Now, let's see what does or how does a diplomatic person look like, or what are the personality characteristics of a diplomatic person. They should be empathetic. They should listen actively. They should be open-minded. They should have adaptability and flexibility. They should be persons of integrity. They should communicate effectively. They should seek common grounds. They should show appreciation. They should manage conflicts constructively. And they should lead everyone with example. So let's see, what is the power of diplomatic leadership? Diplomatic leadership has the power to transform organizations, communities, and societies by fostering strong relationships built on trust, respect, and understanding. Diplomatic leaders create environments where individuals feel valued, empowered, and motivated. And then they contribute their best into the organization. Right. So to conclude this up, I want to say that nurturing a diplomatic mindset is essential for building strong relationships and fostering effective leadership. As leaders, we have the responsibility to cultivate empathy, active listening, open-mindedness, adaptability, and integrity, not in ourselves, but in others also. By prioritizing relationship building and diplomatic relationships, we can create a more inclusive and collaborative and prosperous future for all. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me patiently. And thank you so much, everyone, for your amazing speeches today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you so
Stephen
much.
Kamran.
Thank you so much for sharing with
for
us
that
today.
very incisive, what do you
Okay.
call, rendition of the topic.
Thank you so
Dr.
much.
Queen, yeah, who's our next speaker?
All right.
Yes,
let
it's
me invite,
our
let me invite
doctor.
our next speaker.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Before this, I need to share a little something. Like there are many types of listening, pseudo listening, selective listening, but the most important listening is the deepest listening. And today we have the beautiful, our next guest speaker. Her name is Dr. Betty. She's from UPAC. So we are just looking forward. So board is yours. Have fun.
Hello. Thank you very much, Sister Elizabeth, for inviting me. It's a great honor to be here. I'm going to be brief. It's so inspiring to see so many leaders in the world, you know. It's incredible. Yeah, so the question of leadership and mindset is so relevant. And also through those experiences, you know, we lead by example, and we learn from transformation and from change. So, you know, for example, you know, breaking through every experience, you know, it teaches you something. So having written my book, To Inspire, I went through a transformation whereby I was challenged to break through. So, you know, sometimes people say, you know, you have to write when it's the right time, or you have to create when it's the right time. But the question is, it will never be the right time. So it's those challenges that actually inspire you to change, that you go through that experience to be able to inspire change in people, because there's nothing, the world is not perfect. So the whole beauty comes from transformation, comes from inspiration, telling your story. And like Les Brown says that, you know, if you don't have tests, obviously there's no testimony to tell. So if you don't tell your story, how are you going to elevate somebody else to change? So yeah, it's through those transformations that we are able to grow and develop. Yeah, so for me, it's leading by example. It's having that mindset to break through your challenges. And it's actually, I thought to myself that, you know, it's quite selfish if you don't share that story, because you're actually, like Les Brown says, you're actually short-circuiting your transformation, you know. Yeah, so you don't know, you don't know how your story is going to change somebody else. Through telling that stories where change and growth actually happens. Yeah, so yeah, leadership is about leading by example, and the mindset is so crucial. Yeah, so yeah, that's my story. Yeah. Yep. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Dr. Betty, for sharing with us. We really appreciate your time. You've been with us since you were putting on your lovely pink jacket.
Yes.
We noticed that, and we want to appreciate you. Once again, I want to appreciate all our leaders that are still on. I want to thank Ambassador Temitope Odetunde. Thank you for sitting down patiently, learning and sharing with us today. We really appreciate your presence, ma'am. Thank you so much. I also want to appreciate Alhaji Rehama Onike. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we round up, I will quickly want Pastor Olusola to quickly share with us, and after that, Alhaji Rehama. Then after that, I'm going to hand over to my moderators to take the floor, do whatever they want to do, share whatever they want to share, and then we can call it a day. Okay, sir. Pastor Awoshola Olusola.
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am. God bless you, ma'am, for this wonderful opportunity. I greet all the moderators. The Lord bless you all in Jesus' name. Actually, my name is Pastor Olusola Awodiran. Yes, Pastor Olusola Awodiran.
Yes.
Diplomatic personality and relationship. When we're talking about diplomatic personality, we're actually talking about a technical person, a professional person, a thought person, someone that is a good follower, a good listener, a peacemaker, someone that forms a bond between two or more people. I just want to quickly go into the situation in the world presently. And I actually want to take Nigeria for example. In Nigeria now, we've been having series of suicide cases. People committing suicide, people are attempting to commit some. So one of the videos I watched about a particular man that wanted to commit suicide, a man came to him, and I was surprised he could talk him out of committing that suicide. He talked him out of committing the suicide. He put himself in his position in a way that the man that wanted to commit suicide was actually crying. And he said, I feel your pain. I've been there too. But look at me today. I'm doing well. You too, you can do well. And he talked at him and he looked at him and said, are you sure? He said, can I explain what actually led to this? He said, no, you don't need to explain. Let's just settle this thing. Come to me. You just leave that place first. Then we can talk over it. I can invite you to my to a tea party. Go for a dinner, something like that. And the man looked and was crying at the edge of jumping into the lagoon. And the man stepped backward and on his own crossed back. So that's a diplomatic personality. You know, when we are talking about a diplomatic personality, they must be a good listener. They must not be judgmental. They must not be judgmental. They must be very, very considerate. They have to put themselves in people's position also. One of the problems we have in the world today is that we judge people. We judge people by their actions, and we don't actually know what led to that situation. So we have to balance everything. We don't have to judge anybody. Anybody can make mistakes. There's nobody that's above mistake. So a diplomatic personality is a good leader and is a person for all, available to all. Is available to all, is ready to listen, and is ready to make peace in wherever there are disputes in any area. So a diplomatic personality is also a good follower, because we all know the fact that if you must be a leader, you must be a follower. There is no follower without there's a follower that graduates to become a leader. And even when you have become a leader, you still have to be a follower. What do I mean by that follower? Is that you still have to humble yourself so that you can get the best of the facts from people around you. If one calls himself a leader and you put yourself in a position whereby you don't get feedbacks, you don't get information, and you don't give people the opportunity to come to you, then one will be left with so many problems. And that is what is actually happening with nations today. People are just doing things without any diplomatic sense in their decisions. They don't want to listen to people. They just want to go by what they have in mind without thinking the effect or the impact or the consequences in the life of the people that they are leading. So that's just what I want to quickly ship in.
Thank you so much.
diplomatic
Thank you,
perspective.
sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing
And
your
a
thoughts with
professor.
us.
Thank you so much for sharing
bless
with us. We really appreciate your time. Thank you for waiting since morning. We really appreciate the
wow.
time. And now we're just going to be rounding up quickly, but we need to hear from all our moderators because that is very, very important. We
Wow.
call on Alaji Rea. I think he's having problem with his connection. He's joining us. I don't know if he's going to speak to us today, because I think he has problem with the connection. He's joining us now. Let's give him just 1 minute. But while we're waiting for Alaji, can we call on Dr. Hediana to start sharing with us? Because we don't want to waste much time. We want to close anytime from now. So Dr. Hediana, please share with us.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Queen, for bringing all of us in this really transformational conference. Well, I have heard and learned a lot from our amazing speakers. They already share a lot of things about the relationship, how about diplomacy during the leadership too, but I just want to highlight a little bit note in here that when we want to make a relationship, no matter where you are, either you are in a love relationship, in a business relationship, in a community relationship, leadership community, always bring yourself to the table with the boundaries, because no matter what the situation that you're going to be in, or maybe what kind of the situation that you had in the past, as long as you have a boundaries, you have a strong value about yourself and also about your goal, then you can, yeah, you can be happy whatever the situation that matters, because sometimes we forgot that we have to put our standard also. Sometimes we just cannot always entertain other people. Like, for example, I remember Ambassador James mentioned about the forgiveness. Like, we always need to forgive other people and not forget actually what already they met. That's also correct. Okay, so when we hold our grudges, for example, it's going to make the relationship chaos. It's not going to be good for a long-term or even short-term relationship. But what I want to notice that even if you forgive something, you might not forget about how they made you feel when they did something to you. For example, that's what happened when people start getting angry, start hating other people. For example, it's just because not only about the forgiveness itself, but they just cannot forget how they made you feel. And that's what mostly people are complaining in this life. Like, you made me feel insecure, you made me feel uncomfortable, you made me feel blah blah blah. But either way, always remember that we have cognitive thinking style. Okay, so our thought drives our actions, and our actions also is going to drive the result. So with this transformational leadership, I want you to always remember that in either case, in every situation, in every relationship, that you always need to be a person who put a positive mindset. That's important. But you also need to remember this kind of toxic positivity. Okay, so for example, if you want to build a relationship with the people who made you disappointed before, and then it's constantly, it seems like there is a pattern, and you forgive, you want to put the constant forgiveness to that person, but you forget your value as a human being, you forget your boundaries, then you're not going to be happy. Maybe you can accept that situation, but later you might complain at 2 a.m. or at the middle, why this person is keep doing this thing, what's wrong with me? Then it's like you're going just to degrade your value. So it's better in any case, put your boundaries, set. If you don't know, like, before you put your boundaries, at least know yourself first, and having your clear boundaries, okay, in order to build relationship, connecting or connection, networking, diplomacy with other people. I want this kind of people around me, because we always want to be surround ourselves with the healthy people, right? With really creative and also inspirational people. So boundaries, it's truly important in relationships. So as a human being, social being, don't forget to get to know what is your boundaries that you want to bring to the table, that you cannot let other people tolerate, because once we value ourselves, then other people also is going to value ourselves. If we don't value ourselves, then sometimes many people just do as they want and they don't care about what we want. Okay, so I think that's all, because our speakers already share great thoughts in this conference. Thank you so much, Professor Queen.
Thank you, Diana, Dr. Diana. Prof. Queen, is it my turn now to give my? I can't hear you. You are muted.
I think it's Dr. Mike.
Oh, okay, Dr. Mike.
Yes,
All right,
it's my
please. Okay, go ahead.
We need one more moderator over our three moderators we are here today. We need one more one who can moderate us.
Okay.
Well, I can.
Today.
I offer to be your moderator, so that's how I'm calling you. So let me just say, let's welcome Dr. Mike Layton from USA to share with us his wealth of knowledge and wisdom this afternoon. You're welcome.
Really,
Is that
really appreciate
Welcome,
it.
welcome,
welcome. I get today a Nobel Prize because I've been listening for the last 4 hours. This is the first time ever in my life. For last many years, I couldn't listen up for long like today. But I got an amazing opportunity, and congratulations everybody here on this particular beautiful post. And congratulations to all the speakers and the most valuable, the most precious Queen Elizabeth. Like, we are together for last 3-4 months, and we are learning a lot. I'm learning a lot from your personal experience, and today, you give me this opportunity. So today I listened so many things, but we are talking about the communication, which is 93% is the body language. We really need to work on the body language. And recently, we have trained some secret agencies like how to understand people, even they're not speaking, but they are speaking from their body. So we need to understand body first, because if you're looking at my hands, because body language says like your success is in your hands. Like how do you use your hands? If I'm using my hands like this, it's me like I'm digging up like some information, so it means like I'm very much sincere. So people understand you through your body. People don't remember your words because words are just 7%. People remember your body. People don't remember what you say. People remember how do you say, because so we need to understand body. Body really speaks a lot. So like if I'm talking like this, so my hands, I'm using my hands like this. If I'm gonna put my hands really downside, so if I'm gonna put my hands downward, it means like I'm showing up superiority. So we, as a human being, we are born to give respect, and we are born to be open-minded. It means like we gotta accept other people's opinion. It's like gonna honor other people's opinions. This is called the open mindedness. So your hands talks a lot. If you're gonna talk to people and you are using your hands like this, means like you are chopping. I personally experienced in workshops and in a conferences in the classroom with the people, when they're talking like this is spiritually. When you're talking to your most senior officials at your workplace, so they talk like this, means you're chopping. So you are creating a big hazard. You are disconnecting, and you are making your listeners angry, and you are not earning a real respect. So we need to know how to use hands. So if you your hands, like if you cross your hands like this, and you're putting your hands here, so it means like I'm not accepting. I'm denying. It means like my body is showing up, like I'm not accepting that information. All right. If you're putting your hands on the backside, if you're standing up and your hands on the backside has a different meaning. All right. So hands are speaking a lot. Your body is speaking a lot. Your legs, how you move, right? How you move your body. If I'm talking to you and my body is not in a congruence, if it's not in your direction, it means I'm showing up some other direction. So it means I'm not attentive. I'm not listening. Like many times it happened, and I learned it, and I then practically in my life. Because whenever I was getting busy, like I'm busy on my laptop. So my kids are calling me, my kids are talking to me, and I'm saying, okay, I'm just coming. I'm listening, just speak up. So it means like I'm not showing up attention. So attention is the is the biggest miss in our life. We are losing the relationship. Why? Because we are not attentive. We are not in congruence. We are not true to our body. Like it happened many times, and I ask people, and what, hey, would you please like to come in the birthday? The people say, yes, of course, I'll come tomorrow. Yes, I'm quite ready. So it means like body is showing no, but with this, but with words you are showing, yeah, I'm coming out. So it means like body speaks a lot. Your eyes and your cheeks, every part of your body speaks. That's why we say 93% we speak through our body, and just there are 7% words. So I personally feel before we learn like how to communicate with the words, that we first need to make it 100% understood, like how to speak with our body. A lot of time we are speaking something, but our words and the body, they are not aligned. When they're not aligned, so you are not making a positive impact on the people. So we need to learn a lot. So people only listen to you until you are polite. Remember, like I'm a speaker, I communicate with a lot of people. I'm a speech coach. People listen to you once. If you're not polite, people stop listening to you. So body and the way you speak matters a lot. Really, really, really thank you very much for everyone, for all the speakers. And I really enjoyed it a lot. And tomorrow I'm going to join again right back on this boat. And I'm sure like we will have a more impact, and we're going to speak more about like how body speaks and how we communicate. Because NLP is another biggest miss in our life. Why? Because we need to know like what is the right time to advise people? What is the right time to take meeting? All right, people take meeting in the morning, the biggest mistake. So right time to take meeting in the evening time, because we rise up with the sun and we are getting back to the bed. With the passage of time, we are going into external prime time. All right, so we can't take meetings, we can't take advices, we don't, even the children, even your family, your siblings won't like, even your official, your colleagues won't accept anything once they are in internal prime time, because you need to know first like what's their external and what's their time like when they go into their subconsciousness. So even like the day, 24 hours are not same. So we can't take responsibility, we can't take it things and all they know. Everything, it depends like what kind of work life you're going to take in the morning. Because morning, if you're a day person, the morning time is your internal prime time. In internal prime time, you're going to take some different activities. And external prime time, you take the much easier task. All right. Anyway, thank you very much, Queen Elizabeth.
Thank you,
like,
Mike.
You are making a really profound thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Littman.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you very
Mike
much.
Littman. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And it is very, very important how we present our message. Like you said, the way, I mean, people not just listen to us, they also watch the way we present our information.
Seriously,
Which is very, very important.
I lost so many relations in my
Thank you.
life. Why?
Thank you.
Because I had no idea that how to communicate and what is the right time to communicate. I lost so many things. So now I don't want people to go with those feelings. I want them to be success. Though success is also limited. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, that's a great one as well. And can I call on, like Dr. later said, I have to be a moderator, isn't it? Right. Now we want to welcome Professor Karudin from Malaysia to share with us his wealth of knowledge. Recently, he clocked 70. Am I right?
Yes.
So you are full of wisdom, full of knowledge, and full of experience. So please share with us on this platform.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. Yes. Just quickly, okay. Dr. Diana has shared thoughts on the topic, and then we just heard Dr. Littman talk about it. I just want to share with you that I was very lucky, in my career. I had a lot of bosses that includes top civil servants in the country. So I watched them and I learned from them. And I had the top university vice chancellor was my boss, and he and his economic thought. You know, he liked to say that, you know, if you earn $1, okay, if you earn $1, you spend 70 cents and put aside 30 cents, you will be a happy man all your life. So that was his, because he's an economist and he was very much influenced by, he had his PhD in Japan. So he was very much, you know, a savings guy, learning it from the Japanese. So in one of the board meetings, I whispered to him, I said, Prof, Panku, I said, if everyone follows you, I'm worried that a lot of banks and financial institutions may close shop. And he laughed and he agreed with me. And he said, yes, so you need to also encourage, you know, spending, and you need to also to encourage savings at about the same time. Okay, now coming back to the topic that we discussed for almost 4 hours, I think today, mindset for diplomatic personality. I've always taken this approach of, I'm a very assertive guy. So, and when people look at me, you know, in the meeting or in the discussion, they can see that my face will show, you know, I'm firm but fair. So if you have some nonsense, you know, I will just smile and then it will probably go into one ear and come out into the other ear. But otherwise, the facts are clear, and I always give an opportunity to others to state their point. So I think in transformational leadership here, especially to those who are aspiring to be leaders, it is important for leaders to have this. I was taught this when I was a young executive. Listening, polish your listening skill. When your listening skills is solid and good, you will progress through your career, executive career, whether it's political or whether it's administrative, in a more fashioned way. And I will vouch that, you know, that at the end of the day, you would become a good leader. So that's just a little bit about what I wanted to share. Otherwise, it will take me more than 15 minutes, you know, to share the topic. Back to you, Professor Dr. Queen Elizabeth.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing with us. I still have a couple of video I want to share with you before we round up this evening. I know we've taken a long time, but let me express my gratitude to all my great leaders, especially on Facebook, because we've not been able to mention their names, but I love you all. Thank you so much for joining us today and enjoying the great conference of the year. I know we've taken some time. We've not been doing this conference since the last conference we did was in November. So, yes, November. And this one is our first conference of the year 2024. And the next conference we're going to be doing will be in September during our anniversary. So that is why this conference has been amazing since morning. We've got a lot of great speakers that has really shared their wealth of knowledge and wisdom.
Success is already there. Success is already
there.
there.
So I really want to appreciate you all for sitting down nicely, quietly, patiently, prayerfully, and supporting this conference today. You made history. You create a story, and you started a legacy. And I want to say from the depth of my heart, and on behalf of all our patrons and matrons and leaders of YYCI, thank you so much. We will soon finish, and we just want to make sure, I want to express my gratitude to all our moderators. Oh, wow, you've done a great job. Dr. Ediana, you've done a great job. What can I say? Thank you so much. From the beginning to this time, I appreciate you. Thank you. And she is a great leader in the society. She also has an organization that teaches all the leaders in the world. She has a big organization that's reaching out to all our youth. She is a leader of leaders, because that is what our organization is all about, training the leaders, coaching them, and leading them. So I want to say thank you for sparing this day to come and share with us, not only just sharing, not only just appearing, but working and serving us. I want to say thank you, ma'am, for doing that. I also want to appreciate my gratitude, express my gratitude to Professor Carradine. He's already 70, sitting down for a long time. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate even making the atmosphere so interesting. Thank you so much. I was thinking I'll miss you today, but I'm glad you joined us today. I really appreciate your time. What can I say about Dr. Michael Leitma? Firstly, it's very new to us here in YYCI, and like you know me. Once I know you, I can call you at any time to come and work with us. And what a great challenge, not only working with us. Firstly, he served us today for the first time. He's joining us on conference like this. For the first time, you can hear what he said, that he has never sit down for 5 good hours, or if not 6, for this kind of thing. And thirdly, moderating. Oh my God, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. He also has his own organization. He has his own TV, if I may say. He has his own podcast, and he also has his own radio. He's also a champion of champions, and he's doing a great work, reaching out to others, changing their mindset, and transforming their lives, both old and new. I want to say thank you. You've proved to us that yes, we are leaders, but leaders are to serve. I worship you. I really thank you. I appreciate you. What can I say as well? To my dear sister joining us for the first, I think this is her second time. The first time I didn't recognize her, but she is sitting down nicely looking at me. Ambassador Temitope Odetunde. We are from the same giant church called KICC. Our pastor is Pastor Matthew Atimolo. I've been with this ministry for more than 35 years. And my sister, she is also a leader, a manager, a great leader in NHS. I don't know if you met her before, but she is also, apart from that, has another program where she interviews all our leaders in the marketplace. So I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. What can I say about Ambassador Betty? She is also joining us for the first time. At least we allow her to have a meal. So thank you so much she just launched a book. Is your book there to show us? She just launched a book, which is amazing. But what's the title of the book, please? We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. You are muted.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
yeah.
It's the journey to maintaining healthy skin and discovering your true inner happiness.
Amazing.
And my nickname is Betty Kopsute,
Wow.
the life coach.
You have a nickname, yeah?
Life coach, yes.
Yes.
And the book can be attained from Amazon.
Yes.
Amazon. Great.
You have a beautiful heart.
Even Ambassador Temitope Odetunde is also an author. I've seen some of her books. I think they are on Amazon. Am I right? Yes. Please get in touch. Please, when you visit my Facebook, you will see her videos there. So please get in touch with her, and she can invite you for interviews and also do other things together with her. She's a great leader in the society. And also Ambassador Betty. What can I say about my mom in the house, Dr. Samina Evelyn? Every of our program, I'm telling you, working with me is not easy. I must confess to you. Even though I said that this conference is the first conference of the year. Believe it or not, we've been doing master classes. February, we had 15 days master class on relationship. March, was it March? No, January. Okay, March, we had a masterclass on business and entrepreneurship. This month, we are having a masterclass on transforming relationship. And this mom has been there for all these masterclasses. I could have loved her to speak. I don't know if she's ready today. Let me call on her and then we will allow her to speak. Dr. Samina from Pakistan, are you ready to speak to us today?
First of all, I thank you, all of you, who are joining today's conference. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today's topic is Mindset for Diplomatic Personality and Relationship. I especially thank Dr. Queen Elizabeth for giving me a chance to say a few words and to share my views about diplomatic personality and relationship. Personality, what we are. There are two things. What is personality and what is behavior? What we are, we cannot change. A stable, consistent, but the behavior, what we can change. Our expression, our actions, our communications, our mindset, we can change. We should polish our skills. We should enjoy and we should make others enjoy, relax, happy. So we should have ability to renew our mindset. What we see, what we hear, what we observe, be positive. Personality, positive personality is a diplomatic personality. Positive thinking is a mental diet. It is a diet for our soul. Strive for peaceful relationship. How we use positive mindset, good communication skills, positive attitude, positive thinking, positive expression, conflict-free life, need to make friends, not make enemies. So we should soft, sweet, positive inner thinking, civilized, not rude. Rejoice at good, not on evil. Do not selfish, be good. Do not pollute our souls. Diplomatic personality build strong relationship. It is the foundation of growth, success, and transformation. So, we can polish our skills. Always remember what the Word of God is saying to us. It gives us success. It is the source of wisdom and knowledge. It is the light for our feet. We should take guidance from the Word of God. It is a source of teaching. Effective communication, diplomatic individuals are skilled at communicating effectively and respectfully. This can helpful for better understanding. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 2 says, be completely humble and gentle, be patient, bearing with one another in love. Romans 12, verse 8 says, live at peace with everyone. diplomatic individuals as it is a skill. Remember, diplomatic persons are humble, polite, showing compassion and supportive in difficulties, share their thoughts and promotes clearly cooperation, understanding, relationship. So we should build trustworthy attitudes. Diplomatic individuals are trustworthy and honest, which can build a strong foundation of trust in relationship. Proverb 11 verse 3 says, the integrity of the upright guides them. Philippians chapter 2 verse 3 says, do nothing out of selfishness, selfish ambition, or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, values other above yourself. So, it is very important that we should become diplomatic. Proverb 15 verse 1 says that a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. This verse tells us about the power of diplomacy and tactful communication in solving conflicts. Romans 12 verse 18, it is the possible as far as it depends on you. Live at peace with everyone. This verse encourages us to strive for diplomacy, relationship with others, even in the difficult times. Proverb verse 16. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 7. When Lord takes pleasure in anyone's ways, he causes their enemies to take peace with them. This verse highlights the importance of diplomacy in relationship because our God likes peace. Characteristics of the good diplomatic personality: loyal, listening, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Listen instead of talk. Think before you speak. Think word and meanings. What is said? Message, encouraging, help in troubles. So we should always be listener first, solving conflict, speaking the right word in the right time at the right way. Protection, guidance, advice. This is also keys for the relationship. We should be soft, clear. We should advise others in their problems. Proverb 13 verse 20 says that he that walks with wise men shall be wise. Hebrew 10 verse 24, let us consider one another to provoke and to love and good works. Give benefits to others, not loss. So we should listen the problems of others, share our opinions. Philippians chapter 2 verse 4 tells us, look, not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of the others. Do you work with others? Do you listen with others? Do you solve conflicts? Do you look at the social problems? Do you give support and protection to them? These are the questions which we understand that how we should make our relationship strong. So, to conclude, about the diplomatic personality, it is required a mindset that embrace attitude of empathy, emotional intelligence, effective communication, respectful problem-solving attitude, grateful, forgiving, trustworthy, harmonious. So that it can build strong connections and relationships with others and contribute to create and develop more harmonious and understanding world. God bless you all for listening me.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Samina. Evelyn from Pakistan, our wonderful matron, and also the president of Pakistan. There's something else I'd like to quickly let you know on this platform. If you can remember that Dr. Stephen Cameron also shared with us very recent, in this conference, Dr. Stephen Cameron is actually the son of Dr. Samina. So I want to express my gratitude to him for encouraging Mama to be able to share with us her wealth of wisdom and knowledge every time. And both of them have been a great support to YYCI. So I want to say thank you so much, Dr. Samina. Thank you so much, Dr. Stephen, for your great support. So we are rounding up now. I want to appreciate Robin Casting. I want to appreciate you. Professor Ravinda, I think we'll be listening to you tomorrow, if it's possible, or do you want to quickly share your thoughts now? Okay, if that is the case, because of this connection, we are not going to stay too long. Let me place this video, a very special message from our grand patron, and then we can end this program today. Hold on. Okay, I think I'm missing it. Hold on. I was playing it here, but I didn't share it. I think we are all tired, but we are finishing now and we can go on with our... Okay.
Yeah, good afternoon from Nigeria, West Africa, members, friends, and associates of Yes You Can International. I remain your Royal Grand Patron, His Royal Excellency King Professor Ambassador Engineer Oyenche Promise Obinna. I bring us royal blessings from the ancestral stool of Lapa Rishi.
आवाज खराब हो गई लेकिन आ रही है
State. As your royal grand patron, it has always been my wish to grace our monthly transformational leadership conference. But very unfortunately, due to my tight schedules, I have not been able to meet up to this responsibility. But I want to assure you that I'm with you, spirit, soul, and body. However, based on my is our monthly transformational leadership conference. But very unfortunately, due to my tight schedules, I have not been able to meet up to this responsibility. But I want to assure you that I'm with you, spirit, soul, and body. However, based on my tight schedule and some challenges faced with connecting with Zoom, I want to say this year 2024 has been a transformational year. It has been a year that has been recapped with a lot of exciting moments of visionary leadership. Painstaking decisions have been made globally to ensure that the world keeps focus through love, mutual respect, and understanding. Our ideals as human can only be perfected when we begin to reference our ingenuity as a people, irrespective of our color, representative of different ethnicity and cultural values, I want to say, under this umbrella of Y.Y.C.I International, our commitment is our monthly Transformational Leadership Conference. But very unfortunately, it has been a year that has been recapped with a lot of exciting moments of visionary leadership. Painstaking decisions have been made globally to ensure that the world keeps focus, true love, mutual respect and understanding. Our ideals as humans can only be perfected when we begin to reference our ingenuity as a people, irrespective of our color, irrespective of our different ethnicity and cultural values. I want to say, under this umbrella of Y.Y.C.I International, our commitment
Sorry, I think that one is just the repeat. Sorry.
Cultural values. I want to say, under this umbrella of Y.Y.C.I International, our commitments are resolute, focused, and unbiased because we will continue to do our best to catch them young in instilling the true values of leadership from our young ones, because the future to enthrone transparency in leadership, to enthrone honesty in leadership, starts with catching them young. And under this opportunity and privilege I have to address us, I want to say that as we have ended the first quarter of 2024 and we have begun the second quarter of the year, may the little we've gathered during the first quarter help us to engineer the processes of the second quarter of the year. It is often said that to every human there is a unique blessing God has deposited in every human. I want to assure us, as we remain committed to this project, may God and nature enable us to discover and rediscover ourselves, to know those values that makes us unique, and to be able to join forces to ensure that our individual potencies are built, to ensure that our individual potencies are built into an hallmark of great value that will transform the world into a better and a greater place. Once more, as we continue to go through the series of transformational phases of leadership, may we implement them, because it's not all about listening and learning from great minds. It's all about implementing those few things we've learned. It will help us to be a better person. Information is transformational. The more informed you get, the more transformed you become. Once more, I'm sending us royal blessings. I wish I could address us on a live telecast through this Zoom, but fortunately and unfortunately, I send my royal solidarity, and I want to congratulate the Directorate of Y.Y.C.I for keeping steam with this vision, and all leaders across the globe who has maintained their focus and support to this project. May God continue to bless us. May we continue to live above board, and may we continue to impact positively to the society. Thank you once more, and royal blessings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, our Royal Majesty. Thank you. We really appreciate you. Let me just quickly show you this, and then we can end this program today.
Relationships, they're the foundation of our lives. But let's face it, they can be tough. Conflict arises, emotions boil over, and maintaining a healthy connection becomes a challenge. But what if we told you there's a book that can change it all? Introducing Relationship Matters: How to Solve Conflict, Maintain and Keep Relationships, and Manage Emotions. This comprehensive guidebook, written by relationship experts, offers practical solutions to transform your relationships. Discover effective conflict resolution strategies that promote peaceful communication and understanding. Learn essential relationship maintenance techniques to nurture and cultivate strong connections with your loved ones. Dive into valuable emotion management strategies and regain control over your reactions. Relationship Matters has already helped countless individuals rejuvenate their relationships and find emotional well-being. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Get your copy of Relationship Matters today, available exclusively on Amazon.com. Change your relationships, change your life. Order Relationship Matters now.
And this is the link. And apart from the Relationship Matters Volume 1, 2, 3, 4 that we've put together and launched last year, they are all available on this amazon.com.co.uk or amazon.com. We also have so many books written by myself as the director of this organization, and also written by some of our leaders. Please avail yourself to all the books. Let me see if I can show you. Yes, I will show it tomorrow, but when you click into Amazon, you will get all our books. I want to use this opportunity to express my gratitude to all of our great leaders that have spoken today. I really appreciate you all. We have almost 100, and I think we are close to 70 already that have really spoken, from royal families, royal leaders, royal kings and princes and queens, to our younger ones and our ambassadors and presidents, and generally leaders of the world. We've come together to share our opinions, to share our wealth of wisdom and knowledge. And we want to appreciate again all our moderators. We have another section this evening, and it's going to be my own personal secretary will lead and direct that conference this evening. Is going to be the speaker this evening on our WhatsApp for those that couldn't join us on the Zoom. So they will also enjoy their own conference this evening at 6 p.m. on the WhatsApp. So I want to appreciate all our leaders all across the world. Thank you so much for joining us today. I also want to appreciate the God Almighty, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Prince of Peace, the Lion of Judah, the Rose of Zion, the Balm of Gilead, for giving me that vision of this Yes You Can International, and also giving me the vision of Transformational Leadership Conference, and leading and guiding me and being with all our great leaders, our grand patrons, national patrons, and the matrons, our presidents, our directors of each countries coming together, our ambassadors, our younger generation. I just want to say thank you, Lord, for giving me that opportunity to serve the nation. Once again, I want to express my gratitude to the one and only one, my best friend, my mentor, my love, my king, my head, my ruler, my coach, my husband, my love. Yes, he couldn't join us today because he has a lot of things to do out there. He's not around, he's in London, but I represent him, and he has given me the wings to fly. He has given me the opportunity to share with the world. I want to say thank you, sir, wherever you are. And I want to appreciate King Dr. Femi Lucas Afolalu, my wonderful husband. I also want to seize this opportunity to thank all our friends on Facebook for joining us today since morning. I want to say I appreciate your time. I appreciate your love. I appreciate your willingness for us to work together, serve together, and learn from one another. So apart from that, I'm going to play this. Yes, this is me again, Dr. Elizabeth Lucas Afolalu, the CEO of Yes You Can International, and the award-winning author of the book called Yes You Can. Another book as well, The Love We Lost. So I just want to encourage, if your dream does not scare you, then you need to dream again. Your love The gift is in you. You are resourceful. You are blessed and highly favored. You have greatness in you. Until you discover who you are and your purpose on earth, you will continue to serve others. But you can serve others as a leader. And why are you a leader? Because we are doing something. So finally, I want to encourage everyone that does not visit our YYCI.tv YouTube channel. Please subscribe, share, comment, and learn from all our videos that we have uploaded to that. Every of our master classes for the past 30 years, I said 30 years, for the past 3 years, I think we are all tired now. For the past 3 years, they are all there. The masterclass, the conference, and my own inspirational nugget of wisdom, and some other leaders that have really, really contributed to the growth of YYCI. Once again, I want to express my gratitude to Reverend Father Olufemi Victor Orilua from United Kingdom. I want to appreciate Dr. Stephen Cameron. I want to appreciate Ambassador Temitope Odetunde. I want to appreciate Professor Ravinda. Please join us tomorrow. Very, very important. I want to appreciate, oh yes, please. Thank you. Thank you. From South Africa. He travels all over. He just come back. He's just came back from Russia. So he's going to join us tomorrow to share with us. I want to appreciate Dr. Samina. Thank you so much, ma'am. I want to appreciate Ambassador Betty. Thank you for joining us today. I want to appreciate Dr. Stephen Cameron. Thank you so much for joining us today. I want to appreciate Dr. Mike Littman. Wow. Thank you so much for joining us today. I want to appreciate Professor Karudin. I hope you will relax yourself after this conference. Thank you so much, sir. I can't control it. This is our first one of the year. And
Yes.
like I've said, we are only going to be doing this kind of conference twice a year, which is fair enough. So that is why we are taking our time today. But our masterclass still continues on Monday. Throughout the month of May, we are having this masterclass still on relationship. And also, we want to express my gratitude to Dr. Ediana Dewick. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it from the depth of my heart. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Okay, we have a duty, sir, ma, on this platform. I believe that is why Dr. Samina is opening our camera. The duty is I'm about to end this program, but we have a style. We have a style and a mandate to speak to the world direct. What the answer is going, how you are going to respond to me when I answer that question. Yes, you are answering me the question, but you are also using that powerful word, that powerful message to speak to the people out there. That same statement, because you don't know what any one of us are going through. But when we speak the powerful word and speak it to their lives, then it makes a difference. Okay, so before we do that, I would like everyone to please open their camera. Very important. If we are sharing a powerful statement to the world, they want to see who is speaking with your smile and even with your energy. I know Elizabeth just joined us, but can you open your camera, please? Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate this moment. This is the moment that people are looking for, that keyword that can change their story, that can make them to overcome their lives. And we are all doing it together, both old and the young and the children. They need to hear these words so that they can say it to themselves and they can also say it to other people. So That is how we normally end our conference. Okay, are we ready with smile? I will ask the question, and most of you have already know what to say, but can we just say it clearly so that it will reach out and touch somebody's lives? Thank you for doing that with me. All right. Dr. Ediana, Professor Karudin, Dr. Mike, Dr. Sabina, Ambassador Betty, Dr. Stephen Cameron, Professor Ravinda Rena, Ambassador Tebi Tokwe Odetunde, Reverend Father Olufemi Victor, and Ambassador Elizabeth, together with everyone on my platform, Facebook. Please, let's respond to this question. And it's another way of speaking to somebody's life. Are we ready?
Yes.
I believe somebody will take the picture. Can we take the screen picture of this? Because we are all saying it together. Somebody needs to hear this word today, the 4th of May, 2024. We do not take this moment for granted. It's a moment of healing, transformation. It's a moment of eye-opener. It's a moment of freedom for somebody. It's a moment of deliverance for somebody. It's a moment of relaxation. It's the moment we need to speak this word together. Okay. Transformational Conference Leadership Conference of the year 2024, 4th of May 2024. Can I end this program now?
Yes,
you can.
Yes, you can.
You can.
Yes,
I think we
you
can repeat
can.
it again. I can't hear Ambassador Temitope.
Yes, you can.
Maybe because she's new to us today. I want to hear it clearly, slowly, so that people can capture it. Again, can I end this program now?
Yes.
Yes,
You
you
can.
can.
Thank you so much.